It's time to get right into this. Sandy Real. The crazy thing... The sounds are coming. Oh my goodness. Okay. The crazy thing is that Sandy's actually going to work for Stellar Swirl too. And she has arguably better multipliers to compensate for not getting the Stellar Conduct buffs. She's probably going to work better for Stellar Conduct in the long run. But it's interesting that... I expected her to be Stellar Conduct only because of the fact that she... You know, I figured that if she was going to be Stellar Swirl, they would have added in Stellar Swirl in this patch. But no, they're adding the reaction and just adding it to her retroactively. So they'll probably do the same with Rungrass, and also implies that there's some weird story justification besides the existence of any of the reactions. There we go. Let's see how things are right now. Let's get Whispers of Stars and Smoke. Satoi's outfit when at home, Satoi will sometimes change into attire brimming with... okay. At such times, anyone troubling her with official duties has probably come under heavy attack. Thus, this outfit has become a baleful thing, subject of fearful rumor that all give a wide berth. Okay. That's right. That's right. I have Revelation. Never checked that. Okay, cool. For the sake of consistency. There we go. Sure. Drop in the bucket. Hello! Awfully forward. It's time to get Sandy. Well, also Satoi's outfit, but what are you gonna do? Now? Really? Really? Okay. I actually just had something to drink. This guy. Okay, well, also, got one crown for the... Oh! What was bad about it specifically? As people were kind of dicks because you were starting out and new. If so, that sucks. Oh! Oh, that's right. That's right. I never played Counter-Strike, but I knew some people who did. And yeah, that was the thing. They got a lot of bots in TF2. That might be different since... I don't know when TF2 got a bit of a resurgence. TF2 got a bit of a resurgence, but yeah. For a while, that one had a big hacker problem too. And there's never any reason to convert these, really. Not really. Okay. What's going on here? Oh! I saw someone joke about the funniest way to cheat being play normally and play badly, and for one guy on the other team specifically, wall hack and just kill them dead as soon as they spawn again and again and again. So everyone else on the other team feels like the other guy's just schizophrenic and just basically gaslight him in Counter-Strike. Apparently. That's what I've heard. But and everyone with an outfit is wearing their outfit, that's right. Gotta show off our drip, and it's right over here. Put on your pajamas. What time is it? Back in the days when she could still claim to be a young girl, Satoi had already displayed an extraordinary talent for shamanic arts. Yet instead of carrying those gifts to the altar of the Masters of the Night Wind, she chose to pursue the quiet comforts of a leisurely life. They have repeated that she could have been the chief if she wanted, but she doesn't want. Amos, interesting. Huh. You mentioned Battlefield, but do you play a lot of shooters otherwise? Between now and Counter-Strike? The techniques that would have left Master Weavers in awe were used by her to craft soft-flowing skirts. The secret arts that would have stunned tribal priests were used to blend enchanting colors, and the what bloomed from these transcendent talents is a set of garments the young girl holds near. Are you excited for the FPS mode they're adding next patch? Because it was revealed that the new Sneznai outfit for the Travelers is actually going to be limited to the FPS mode. You might have seen that they added avatar frames that you get for doing local legends, and they added another set for Sneznaias, but they're also adding frames for the shooter mode, which is also going to be competitive. Oh, okay, so nothing in between. I see. Some of her elders had once tactfully suggested that such an outfit wasn't quite suitable for wearing out in public, which, in truth, was exactly what Satwali had intended. To her, so long as the snacks were plentiful, her bedroom was the only world that mattered. On the day she first put on her new attire, she turned away every visitor, savoring her solitude as a young girl before eventually drifting off to sleep in her clothes. Yet, even as this attire offered Satwali a deep and restful slumber, it drew the attention of two ancient gazes. Beneath the shimmering starlight, the enigmatic mist lingering in the breeze drifted into her dreams. In her days, she seemed to catch the faint echoes of a conversation between the Lord of the Night and the Wyab. And we will get a crazy explanation of something people have been asking at for a while here. In her hands, the colored mist resplendent to fine thread in the starry skies imprinted into patterns. Her worthiness is beyond doubt. Bestow your blessing upon her. May the long years she traverses serve to sustain this ancient mandate. Yeah, Yuhul Tekatin decided to make Satwali immortal because she liked Satwali's outfit. That's literally all it was. It's literally just that. And yet in the futures I foresee, how is Stranova? That game was relevant for like a month, right? She remains as she is now, solitary and alone. How then shall she endure the vast expanse of time? To bear the burden of the history is a path destined for solitude. Then the night wind swept the enigmatic mist away, and the stars ceased their shimmering. In these days, with everyone addressing her as Granny, Satwali still occasionally pulls out this attire, reminiscing about the dream from that night. Since ascending to the rank of Great Shaman, trouble matters eventually found their way to her drawer, forcing her to formal shamanic dress and away from the small sanctuary of her bedroom. Thus, like her maiden days, his outfit gradually drifted to the periphery of her life. Yet a sliver of that maidenly, willful spirit has managed to traverse centuries, remaining tucked away in the depths of her heart. Every so often, Satwali changes into these clothes once more, accenting them with a few trendy accessories to keep the look current. In these moments, she casts all official duties aside, hanging a do not disturb sign on her door or heading out for a stroll. Should someone hopelessly oblivious dare to pester her, they would likely find themselves knocked into next week. Interesting, as in it was worse than a game you already disliked. That's a good insult. I should reuse that somehow. Sometime. The job I'm doing right now is a sort of financial phone sales position. To not say all that much more, I suppose. And it... my goodness. Oh. A lot of skills from here have been relevant there. Arguably, the skills from my previous phone job have actually ended up being more bad habits. Which is crazy to say and think, but it's true. So where should I go? Honestly, I should probably just use low end, because I don't want to generate an artifact set for Sandy until I'm done farming this patch's Stygian. That little time to... I mean, some of it is maybe, honestly, just food and sleep. I mean, if you're 23, it's around 30 when things actually start decaying. Honest to goodness, and don't take this the wrong way, I think you just need a bite to eat. That's just me. But Steznaya looks very cool. Stellar Swirl, the way that they're handling Stellar in general, is just so much better than Lunar. The fact that they combine the new reactions of Lunar and the actual character buffs of Hexerai into one thing, unless, well, they'll probably get more Hexerai too. But it's already a good deal more focused than 6.0 was, though to be fair, I imagine a lot of what they've been doing in 6.0 was a dry run. Yeah, well, you know what? This is almost the team. Well, kinda. That will be running in... oh, dailies, so... okay, cool. We can roll for Sandy where Sandy died. Surely this insult will be appreciated. Okay. Let's do these real quick. Yeah, she's good now. You do not need to play League. Please do not play League. You deserve much better. No matter what you think, you deserve better. And again, it's Cryo-Fremine. What? Okay. No lift, no blast. Well, actually, you can run. I mean, Pale Flame is better, but there should be Cryo, right? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think this team just sucks, honestly. Whatever. And oh god, I'm gonna gun. It's 2-piece, 2-piece, Maiden, 2-piece, 2-piece, Blizzard, Royal, Fav, Saxord, Proto Amber. Who? And here we are. Oh, nice. And it, 1, 2, thank you, 1, 2, yeah, Cryo Fremine. There you go. Okay. And there we are, time to start the rotation again. And oh, that didn't hit anyone else. Whatever. And use that for the reset to get that cool quickly. Cool. And 1, 2. Pretty good. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, cool. I hope Fremine gets some kind of buff. Stellar Conduct still actually does have... It doesn't have the base cryo damage to it. Any Stellar Conduct damage is going to be direct in-kit damage, but it does still have the Phase Shred. It's just that that's not what you want to use it for. Oh, interesting. I only know a couple of League characters. I forget his name. There's the little guy who's based on a Final Fantasy Black Mage. I know Sana because she's just Miku. I mean, I know of Ari because she's kind of the mascot. I mean, it's every League couple is just an Ari and a Yasuo. At least that was the stereotype. And then Lux, because she's based on Marisa from Toho. But that's it, really. Maiden and Sack, Bloodstained, Dragon Spine, Spear, Sapwood, and Noblesse, Cloth, and Serpent Spine. Yeah. Okay. Let's just keep doing this. And again, do they explain... they don't explain anything about... And this is not based around her. Interesting. She's got her revelation for this, but the team is not based around Stellar Conduct. Even though she kind of exists in part at this point to be a budget Sandy support. Or just... The big thing... Oh, not Teemo. Teemo's the hamster. You know what? I'll be really nice. I'll look him up. It's Vigar, the tiny master of evil. Yeah. He's based on Final Fantasy Black Mages. The big thing is that Cryo Traveler is going to be able to turn on stellar reactions all by themselves, which is genuinely huge. And a lot of people, myself included, did not expect that. They genuinely expected it to just be... Oh, there are ways to run Gaming more quickly that I'm just not handling. Oh my goodness. What is the Wi-Fi doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, a teacher who played League. They maybe should not have been allowed around children, frankly. Whatever. Okay. Alright. That's just a fluke. You know, that explains it. I wouldn't say it makes it better. And again, Beto also got Stellar Conduct. That's why they're on the banners. It's a full Super Conduct banner, really, except for Sitali. I mean, she's Cryo, but she... If you ran Sitali in a Stellar Conduct team, all she would do is use buff, Cryo, and Electra with Cinder City, which... Direct reaction damage is not assisted by that. Okay. Thundering Fury and Royal, Sack Sword and 2-piece, 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 and Stringless, Even Star, and VV. Stellar Swirl is going to want VV, and VV is actually going to be Stellar Swirl damage, but they also added a separate Stellar Swirl kit next patch, so I think it's probably going to be sort of a... Oh, 2 Cryo, 2 Animo, where one Animo is holding VV and the other's holding the Stellar Swirl set, probably. And then you have some other buffer, and then someone holding the new Stellar support set that they're adding next patch. On the other hand, complicated. Did things dip? I hope things didn't dip. Okay, well, whatever. Something is happening, I swear. Oh, whatever. Okay. That is better. Okay. Okay, and now we can just use her for electroconductor item. Cool. And there we are, kinda. Cool. And around like this. Okay. Oh, nice! And what specifically did you understand? If anything, this is really more a trial team showing off Lanian's decent ability to be an on-field taser driver. Because she attacks faster than Sucrose. Okay, but... maybe I should bully you into playing Duolingo with me. I mean, doing Duolingo. So what's a Satwelli? Oh, there was a glitch that had... not one character... when they started doing things lately so that trial characters who you... have already done the trial, if you can just claim their rewards without doing the trial again. Though I always like to do it to see what they change and what kits they run, because that does change with time. And of course the enemy lineups. For whatever reason, it didn't work with Notlon, probably because of the fact that, unlike the others, Notlon trials load in a custom stage, using the overworld map instead of just the standard domain. That's probably what it's tied to. Some kind of domain queryage tag that wasn't in these maps that they had to add later. But I guess they haven't rerun Satwali since they fixed that. You have Bala Chow on it? That's nice. The first time I heard that song was when I was in... oh my goodness. It's definitely... It's the fan. It's the heat. The fan is gonna be loud. That's okay. Yeah, exactly. I'm that old. I was also made immortal because my drip was just that flawless. She's got Scroll and Star Color. We'll be rolling for this too. Fav and VV, Blizzard and Fav, Serpent Spine and Quaff. Okay. Probably should have turned on the computer a bit earlier, because the big thing about it is that the computer will heat up on its own when it's not on, because the fans aren't running, and will gradually cool down. I mean Dracula. Guy who likes Dracula, but only because of the cowboy. Okay. Okay. But yeah, some years ago, when I was playing Pikmin specifically, there were issues of disconnects early on that would stop as time went on. Eventually I realized I just had to be turning the PC on earlier to give it time to just let the fan spin. It's one of them. I mean, Satwali is a support. She doesn't really have a specific team to begin with. Pretend that I didn't forget to activate the trial. Let's all pretend that didn't just happen. Yeah, but how much do you mind Sneznaya spoilers? Because I've been weak looking. I mean, I've already mentioned a few, as in the shooter. He has a really high skill ceiling, actually. The big thing is that if you time his burst and skill in a weird sort of way, you can actually get his special plunges a lot more quickly than normal. And increases DPS by a factor of like 50%. Just by timing things correctly. But when I need plunge, I just use Varissa, who is better for me for a number of reasons. So I've just never had to learn that. Maybe I should have. Oh well. Well then. Let's just do this here. Oh, it's Bala! Hello! Hello. And we're just going to plunge. Who's left? What? What? Sorry to hear that you're ball exhausted. It's true. I volunteered the other guy. Yeah, but actually you want to... How did that... The jump fail? It's bizarre. But basically, if you burst before the skill, you can basically juggle Manshai. That's how people talk about it. Which allows you to get things going a lot more quickly. It's interesting. Oh, and I did get the Satoli outfit ball. In case you were curious. There we go. Gaming. Maybe I can't volunteer them, but I can volunteer them. So, he's been voluntold. Are you happy? Sandrone is a cryo damage dealer who enables her teammates to trigger stellar conduct reactions and who deals stellar conduct damage directly with her talents. And when Sandrone is in the party, superconduct reactions triggered by party members will be converted to stellar conduct reactions. Starlight Prism will appear on the field, turning the surrounding area into a wondrous pulsar field for a short period of time. All characters inside the pulsar field receive a cryo and electro damage bonus, and when opponents within the field are hit by cryo or electro attacks, the field will store the dissipating elemental energies and then completely release them every 4 seconds. This further increases the aforementioned damage bonus. It also increases the base stellar conduct damage coefficient for 4 seconds, which basically this is a nice way to say that it gives you stellar damage bonus. I wonder why they said it like that. That's weirdly complicated. Additionally, opponents within the pulsar field will also have their physical resistance reduced. During a charge attack, Sandrone will summon the mechanism, I'm not saying this, to bombard opponents during this time. Power will rise continuously. Once it reaches its max limit, will overheat and slow down its rate of attack. Outside of a charge attack, power decreases slowly. The first 3 letters of that name. And when Sandrone is off field, she will focus on repairing, causing the ladder's power to decrease quickly. When Bundle of Styx' power falls below 50% of the max limit, it will exit overheating. Continue to bombard the opponent with the usual poison excellence. And you can actually... When Sandrone unleashes her elemental skill, she will board her Tea Party Tactical Assault Hover Mech and elegantly hover forward for some time, as well as fire prism shots at any opponents nearby. During this time, Sandrone will also quietly repair on the side, causing its power to decrease quickly. And notably, you can actually dash cancel this skill. And the 2 shots will still come out. You don't lose any damage. And it's not even hard. It's honestly easier than even a Nefer dash cancel. Yes. British cigarette. When she unleashes her elemental burst, Sandrone will summon a large number of prismatic resonance cannons for an elegant wide area bombardment in front of her. And I tried this last night and already got the tutorial. When cryo comes in contact with Electra, a special stellar conduct reaction will be triggered if certain conditions are also met, which is stellar linchpin character in the party. Or traveler, actually, and we saw this already. Certain characters also gain the effects of radiant stellar conduct when within the pulsar field, enhancing certain talents and skill effects. Certain characters can deal stellar conduct damage to opponents using their talents, and this damage can trigger critical hits. It's kind of like Lunar Bloom, but more interesting, because there's no way to deal stellar conduct reaction damage with just the reaction itself. It's to turn on direct stellar conduct reaction damage. Except there's also a cool scaling buff that notably is based on application speed of element in your party. Well, actually, it's based on... They changed it a bunch of times during beta. I don't even know. You should. I wonder if they have that in Scribblenauts. They might. She got... Teaspoon of Transcendence. White Fairy's queening. What do they mean by that? She's got the Stellar Conduct set. Yeah, and her signature, obviously. And that's one heck of a smirk. My goodness. Okay, well, it's just like this. You go for 3 of the lasers, which deal direct stellar conduct damage, and once you've done the 3rd, you can do it as so, but... I mean, it's... Why keep going when you're not hitting anyone? And again, you can immediately just cancel it out, and the shots that get fired when you run the little hovercraft still go. So it's pretty much perfect. Okay, there we go. There we go. Her burst is worth using. Is worth building for if you've got it, actually. And it's specifically for her you need an... Oh. Yeah, I guess on Sucrose. Yeah, right now her core is Chi-Chi and Yai. You can kind of run Diona, maybe, I guess. Next patch, her team is going to be Sandrone, Yai, Alyosha, and Odette, the new girl. No, it's Elaine, who was a character from some Fontaine World quests, which it seems you did not do. Oh well. So really, it's just, as long as you fill the bar, because it's 100, maxes out at 10. Basically, if you get one full... bar full of charge attacks when... My goodness. Yeah. And the second Prism Shot is the damaging one. Only if you do the skill and the skill when she's basically overheated will the shot deal about the same amount of damage as one of the beams. Interesting character conceptually, and basically an advertisement for the Chronicled banner, well, White Race, and they give her two-piece instead of Stellar Conduct set? Oh, you're kidding. That's silly. But she's basically a Superconduct character now. Even without Stellar, a lot of her kit is now relying on Superconduct, which is funny. But it's nice for theater, because that will still work even without Sandy. Or a Stellar character. But we're gonna get Chrono Traveler. We're going to get Odette next patch. Those are 2 more characters to turn on all Stellar. In fact, Sandy is going to be able to turn on Stellar Swirl too, which is wacky. Though it probably won't work well with the kit. And Song of Days Past and give her Skyward. She wants Fontaine Crouchable R5 or a high refined Aquila Felunia. She does not need that. And no Constellation, so she doesn't even get anything out of using her burst. Sack frags and VV. That is a good thing. But you maybe want to use Shielan or Escoffier or Nicole. Escoffier and Nicole are the current 4 slots because we just don't have a real 4 slot for this team yet.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Chi-Chi. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1. Huh? Something got screwed up. Did I dash cancel? No, the issue is that my instincts proved me wrong. I thought I was still playing Nefer because of how similar she is. I dash canceled instead of using an E. My noises or this? But this is, it's Stellar Conduct. It's the brand new reaction. It's exciting. Okay. Come on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And at that point, I could have and should have just used the burst. That's right. You've got it active. She can go for about 3 charge attack sequences, so 9 in total. Actually, let's test that out real quick. How long is that going to be? Just to run the timer on it effectively. Oh, well. The big thing is that Yai's burst no longer destroys her totems. The totems also have a pretty crazy duration now. It's 24 seconds now. And when you replenish them, it actually causes additional attacks. She got a big buff. Mavika is never getting buffed. She should never get buffed. I'm sorry. If Mavika needs to get buffed, the game's pretty much dead. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and again, we don't need to dash cancel. Okay, and yeah, it's about 3. Okay, cool. Should try that bombardment. I want to try this one again. 1, 2. Wow, yeah, she's good. She's good. Didn't World of Warships have an Azure Lane collaboration? I think that's right. For better rules. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and bombard. Yeah, we go for the other there, and doesn't really need the burst. That was maybe badly. Well, they don't put down their shield immediately in this kind of test run, so it's not a big deal. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know when they changed that, but now, after the first full clear, it actually repeats the lineup. You can keep this going infinitely now. Okay. Alright then. But the Polestar field is really, really big too. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Okay. There we go. That's fine. Okay. So if you're doing it after the second, you only need to drain the bar by using her E once. So if you're using the burst, you go for the full charge attack sequence of 3 beams, you E and just cancel right in the next charge attack, and at the end of that you go for a burst. She is very strong. Which I'm happy with. Even though I did like her old outfit just a little bit more. Okay. Okay. It's time. This is gonna be our Sandrone summoning ritual. Though she might not like it by way of... Well, actually, let's put in... The team will run with her. And then where Sandrone herself will be, we'll put Columbina. Sandrone will replace him here. He's a placeholder because he also does Stellar now. He doesn't turn it on himself, so for this patch, he needs Sandrone as a dead slot in the party. But starting next patch, he can run Stellar with Cryo Traveler or Odette. And Cryo Traveler is actually good. It's not, not amazing. But they're also giving Traveler an exclusive 5-star weapon that only works with Traveler, and basically gives them infinite energy. As long as it's one of the Travelers within outfield. So you can then use Traveler's Burst without having to think or worry. Which is interesting. What do I use this for? Who knows? Okay. So the team we will be running... Yai Chi-Chi. And Nicole and Sandy. Well, actually, in that case, we're putting Nicole in first. Especially since Nicole would buff Chi-Chi's quills that she gets for Stellar Conduct at C6. I'm excited to see how this team ends up being. Though again, it's going to have to wait until after Stygian so I can finish my artifact farming. Okay, cool. Her wife's here. Yeah, sorry, no, sorry. Not happening this time. They were removed and unceremoniously booted. Won't. Okay. Who are you calling Alolan Sandshrew? Are you saying that because we're going to Sneznaya? Okay, and it... Honestly... Well, it's hard to say. You should really always go for support weapon refines if you can choose it, because they're more versatile. Me too. Probably. And we have these characters. Heavenlit Prophecy. If I lost every time on one of these, and we're going for all of these, to something, I'd prefer it be Mizuki's signature, especially since Mizuki is going to be the only specific Stellar Swirl Animo character next patch. She has a niche. She has a niche now. Oh, look, it's Chi-Chi. Yeah, roll for Chi-Chi here, roll for Chi-Chi here. That's the life. Okay, cool. Let us... Let's pick up 20 ADs right now. As we have to manually convert those anyway. That's enough for a couple months worth of buying the crowns. Where are we at as things currently stand? I don't want to because I have her C6 already. It's good, but I already have it. Losing to Mizuki would not be so bad. But not this, not now. Not now. Okay, we're at 0 pity on everything. Okay. Well then. Let's roll for the evil lesbian doll. Actually, the morally gray lesbian doll. Exactly. It's like, I had to stop Sandrone horny posting out of respect for her sexual orientation. It was kind of difficult. Maybe. We got Beto and Dynasty 6. That's a Fremenacon. I was just about to say, I would appreciate Some Fremine coming my way. Because he was still C3 for me only, but I get a lot of use out of him in theater. Oh, big! Big. Because that's who we're rolling for. I was saying that I had to stop myself. I had to restrain myself permanently from any Sandrone horny posts out of respect for her sexual orientation. And it did hurt me a little bit. You came just in time for the gambling. How does that make you feel? What? Okay. 31. 32. 30. There we go! There we go! He called it! He called it! This guy. Okay. It's weapons time. Big, big, big. The YouTube shorts will profit. What if it's in this 10 roll? And also it's... I honestly don't like constellations much. Because that would make me want to try Dire Stygian. I am fine with comfortably clearing Fearless and not stressing myself out further. Minecraft Primogems. And that's from an AC6. I made it like a bandit. Nice. The Fremines came because that's the only one of the Fitui triplets who Sandrone doesn't hate. Oh, right. A lady's invitation. This is one heck of a place for that to happen. Okay. Looks like you've been invited to a tea party. A Pumpkin can't wait. Come on, let's go. You can get that before her quest. Sandrone is technically still dead. Well, read the invitation letter. You receive a tea party invitation letter from Sandrone. Note it is recommended that you complete Sunny Summer Fontinalia for the best experience. So why tell us about it now? Sandrone's portable pea table. Portable tea table gifted to you by Sandrone. Easy to carry and store, even fitted with a levitation device. This you can enjoy a leisurely tea party almost anywhere. Sandrone's tea party invitation letter. A tea party invitation letter sent by Sandrone. The invitation is delicately patterned with exquisite handwriting. Is this what one calls a lady's elegance? Oh, so do we need to accumulate these somehow? Like TCG letters? But you like Mona, right? There was a French, I think I mentioned them before, there was a French Arlecchino main who used to show up, who hated Mona because he lost so many 50-50s to her. But that's neither here nor there. 23. And are you going for Satuali for Arle specifically, I would assume? Yeah, let's hope I'm not totally off base. 23 on July 2nd. That's a win. Okay. Right now we're at 7 on event character. Yeah, exactly. Let's get this started. We're at 0 now. That is a good idea. You already have to deal with me making really, really stupid vampire jokes, so... Save your health. Fab sword. This is the one that isn't interesting, especially since all the weapons on the weapon banner right now just aren't particularly good or interesting. Yeah. Me being the one guy who actually likes the Chronicle banner because he wants all the weapons on it right now specifically. I mean, it is well-bait, but... Let's keep going with our funny story. Is this somehow you falling in love with Rain Slasher? Heavens forbid. Oh, was he rerun recently? Or was that something that happened a while ago? Oh, okay. I was saying in the server that since they got those Aventurine and Robin swimsuit ults announced as actual separate characters, that's honestly the most FGO thing they've done. Oh, nice. And there we go. There it is, that's Star Collar. So now we switch to the other one. Wow. Directly, Star Collar's watch. At 65. That's a win. That would be big. Okay. So exactly, there was no course because we got the weapon. It is time to start dipping into the stockpile. Uh-oh. Okay. My goodness. E2 is the one that just gives him more damage than it would ever have to be, right? Well, I'm going for both of these weapons. The reason I set the path to Satwali's signature is because I wanted both of them. It's just that in terms of which one I would prefer to have more refines of, if I had to choose, it would be Satwali's. That's all it is. Yeah. Because I know people have talked about E2 for Finon as the one that allows you to use him everywhere for everything, and sort of obviates the need for any other character. Holy crap. Any other character even existing if you have it. 41, 42, 43, 44. What if the 5-star was just a secret 5-star Toma that only I got? Oh, and that's our R2. So we're probably at 5. Yeah. I mean, in the end, obviously, the preferential thing is to get the weapon you selected the point for, but beggars cannot be choosers. So 45. Gamblers cannot be choosers. So that's the Tali R2, which means that the Mavica team just got even stronger, which is something I kind of did not want. Okay, Sandy Sig. Sandy's. Okay. Oh, random Zinnian. Okay. 25. Nothing special. Random Koi, who we already had maxed. How about you give me an Ino or an Aluga constellation? The two characters I've got at C5 and kind of want C6 on. There was someone who messaged me in game commenting on my Stygian clear because they saw I was using C5 Iluga and C5 Ino and asked if I had kept them there as a bit, and I had to dispute, no, it happened that way, that was organic. She can't come on weapon banner. That, we've made sure of that. And oh, here it is. That's gonna be 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. It would be nice, but we're getting right at the end here, and yeah, it's just one. Okay, cool. Post 50-50, and everything's zeroed out now. A teaspoon of transcendence helps the medicine go down. That's it, right? That's an interesting looking spoon. At 65. Ghost loss. Exactly, you knew what I was referring to. But Sandrone as a character is kind of meant to be an Alice from Alice in Wonderland figure. Okay. So let's hope we don't lose to too many Skyward Blades. It's all drawing from this pool of 5. Okay. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Ah. This is what makes long overtime hours of the financial sales factory worth it. Getting to bankroll the CCP. Better the CCP than the CC poop is what I say. I didn't say anything. Alright, it's Chevy C6. Okay, and the other thing, oh, that's a Winnet con we did not have. Is that pity on the Chronicled, even for weapons, is at 75. Normal weapon banner is 65. Chronicled banner is 75 for both characters and weapons. And what compensates for that is the fact that your pool of weapons is arguably better, just because of the fact that it's various different limited signatures instead of just the chance of losing to a standard banner weapon. Well, 90 is hard pity. 80 is hard pity on normal weapon banners. On Chronicle, it's 75 soft, 90 hard for everything. And again, they compensate you with regards to the weapons by giving you a better pool for them. What if we just lost to a bunch of Skyward Blades to compensate for the relatively good luck that we just had? Ah, it is, and bam! Bam! There we go. There we go. Okay. That's our staff, which is technically a loss, but still something I wanted. It's gonna take a few patches to get this thing leveled up, because if you're mining for your weapon ore instead of using resin for it, which is a scam, because it's something you can get without spending resin, you can level, max level, about 2 5-star weapons per patch. But this is also very good. Yeah, quote-unquote loss. Okay, now it's time for Mizuker. We're gonna go for our Mizuki signature. Back to 10. Oh, wait. Yeah. I'm not finished. With the war chest here, and oh, that's Yahuda C6. It's a shame I have no use for her. Oh well. But as I was saying, fingers crossed. We took home staff. We're taking home this, and then it's Yai's signature and Rethesli's signature. I didn't know, one, that you had Inazuma still unexplored, and two, I guess that's smacks of desperation, but also I think either Inazuma or Sumeru is kind of indubitably the best exploration region the game has had. In terms of actually being kind of treacherous and requiring thought to navigate. Because of the fact that Sumeru has the most extensive underground, even disregarding the fact that it had to be done without the layer map. And then on top of that, Inazuma was the only region with puzzles that were actually hard. So that's where it comes in. As in, it feels weaker. What world level are you on right now? Okay. If you get lucky, we will... Let's see. I mean, there are no other weapons to lose to, so... Yeah, we got a Skyward Blade refine. Yeah, happy birthday, Bennett. And, let's see... No, you're not the one. So basically you think that since you've gone on a tear, you're going to end up getting comically bad luck soon? I mean, maybe, but... The thing about luck is that it doesn't exist. Is that objectively, previous random chance events do not and cannot influence future events. I'm going to appeal to your logical brain that you claim so much. Yeah. Counter-Strike wall hacks victim brain. Well, I mean, it was entirely disconnected from any past and future events. It's not, they didn't have good luck beforehand. I mean, they were just alive and then they were dead. We always have the power to, I don't know, shoot a nuke up at Chicxulub 2 when that becomes a thing. First loss. Okay, and in terms of the ones that are left, I would prefer to have more Yai refines than Rithesli refines, so there we go. Alright. Yeah. What? Okay. Alright. 1, 2, 3. What?! That's exactly what I wanted to lose to! What did I do to deserve this in a positive sense? It's thank you, but also this is gonna make me superstitious. Like, I'm definitely gonna just get struck by lightning tomorrow. Actually, this is just compensation from the heavens for the fact that on Monday I got into a car accident through no fault of my own. There's the large route. I know, but we're at 7 now. Nice. Okay. Vegas? Or is it gonna be in Europe? You know, it's... Some of my real-life boys have talked about the idea of going to Vegas. And that's kind of fallen off the tree, because Vegas is so expensive and so... Okay, Can I pick ore? Kidding. I'm going black, because that's the color I wear. A good thing I'm not wearing red. It would be a much harder choice otherwise. Cave. But that went literally unchronicled. That went about as well as I possibly could have. I am satisfied with our results. I was prepared to maybe have to swipe further. I did... What?! And it's the Aluga Con I mentioned earlier? Thank you! Thank you, God! Thank you! Ahura Mazda! I did. It's my reward for all my China shilling that I do. Okay. Is it gonna be Aino? No, it's Shinobu. You said green and then Shinobu showed up. Okay, we're onto something here. And it... Lanyon Constellation that I didn't have. I don't use her though. Oh well. And yeah, here we are. Here we are. And that's a decent amount saved up already for just... Well, what that means is that I'm definitely going for Raiden's signature in the back half. Primarily for collection reasons, but also presuming they will probably buff her eventually. Because 1, she's Raiden, and 2, she sucks. This contradiction needs to be resolved. And yeah, I was kind of surprised seeing that next patch is only going to have 1 new 5-star in Odette. But it does mean that... Well, we're probably getting 2 in 7.1 because that's going to be the real anniversary patch. No, not that one. Okay. It's Mizuki Sig, Rithesli Sig, Sino Sig, Yai Sig, and Skyward Blade because a certain baby zombie does not have a Sig. Well, actually, she's a Zhangxi, which is a specifically Chinese version of a zombie that some people call a Chinese vampire, which is okay, I guess. A lot more similar to a zombie than a vampire. It's because she's a standard character. And standard characters... The original 5 standard characters don't have signatures. It was only when they started adding more that they started adding signatures for those characters like Mizuki's Sunny Morning Sleepin', Dia's Beacon of the Reed Sea, Dia's Bacon, and then originally Tianari's Hunter's Path. And the real shame is that they didn't get added to the standard banner. And you can only get them on Chronicle banners now, because it's not as if those characters get normal reruns. You're gonna have Cryo Traveler for free. And Cryo Traveler is good. Cryo Traveler is going to be the best Traveler by far. With maybe the argument of Dendro Traveler upon scenario launch. But Cryo Traveler actually enables all stellar reactions, and also is a decently competent buffer in sub DPS, with some ability to main DPS if you want that for yourself. Other Yahuda. Oh, Dendro has been overrated since Notron and kind of Fontaine. It's hard to say. But yeah. That's really, really good. Okay. I'm definitely gonna get, like, shot at my job tomorrow. Someone's gonna find me and kill me. And they're gonna say, I recognize you, Mushin Aigen, from your video game stream, and I doxed you, and I found your office building, and I'm gonna kill you and steal your account details. That's what's gonna happen. Also, we're still in the tutorial arena, that's right. Okay, oh, but... You have 50. Okay! That is going to be spent on Raiden's signature in 3 weeks. Well, what else are you going to use your Traveler for? Really? And everything's just at 0 now. Wow! Normally, security procedures for people who are important and wealthy enough tend to stop that, and that's right. We got 3 blue fates from the monthly reset. Let's go gambling. Let's pray for a Mizuki. Okay. But that does mean I'm getting Mizuki C2 this anniversary. Which is pretty good for Stellar. Maybe I'll lose to her for Odette or something. Maybe. Yeah, whatever. Chi-Chi C67. I'm sorry. Am I? Good question. And Starcaller's Watch, Teaspoon of Transcendence. Staff of the Scarlet Sands. Sunny Morning Sleepin'. Cashflow Supervision. Kagura's Verity. Okay. Let us put Sandy in the party. Oh! Time to get to 6 pity on standard. Let's go gambling. Okay. 6. I mean, Limit Break really is just grailing from FGO. As in, you can't really do it for meta, because it does not have a meaningful enough effect to be something you can do for meta purposes. You have to do it out of love. Or at the very least, I mean, attack scalers aren't helped. And Nefer and Lauma literally are not helped at all in any meaningful way, because HP, attack, defense will scale. Defense and HP will scale more than attack, and so will the transformative reaction coefficient. EM does not get boosted at all. They maybe could have made Lauma and Nefer specials so that they got like 5 EM for each level break. That would be funny. Yeah. 2 more Moaners. And I do have, well, the issue is... That's right. This thing is going to take me years to level. Okay. Here we go! It's even better. But this does mean that Satwelli needs an ER Sands now. without any distinction. There you go. C5 Moaner. A statue carved in the shape of an eagle, a sacred relic of the Masters of the Nightwind that has been passed down from generation to generation. Let her eyes be dyed in burning smoke, so she will not be entranced by the colors they reflect. Let her ankles be blessed by a flint blade, so she shall not abandon her beloved comrades. So this was an ancient Nightwind priestess, kind of a Sitolai predecessor, who they blinded and cut the ankles of to immobilize her. In accordance with an ancient exalted contract, the Messenger of Night selected a child with a star-bright soul. And again, that's the predecessor there, because Sitolai is literally Nahuatl for star. When I used to work, my old call center job, which was outsourced from California, and then got outsourced even more to the Philippines, which is why I wasn't working that job anymore. They had me train my replacements. Nothing against the Philippines. And I'm kind of glad I lost that job. Yeah, exactly. You're welcome for me buffing Mavica. Enjoy your dinner. What's for dinner? I actually ran into some people, well, never to anyone directly, but some people with kids on their accounts, named Sitwali, or some variant thereof. I also ran into some people with names very similar to Farazan, because it's just Persian. Well, it's just Farsi. And there are a lot of people in Los Angeles who are Iranian exiles. You know, people who call themselves Persians. You know, some people call it Tarangelus for that reason. Set upon her brow a crown of eagle feathers to guide the ancient people, bereft of form into night's slumber. Whether it be dragons who drowned in dreams, or saints who contended unceasingly in ethereal realms, none noticed the schemes of the one who claimed to be a sage. A covenant was established between the people of the valley and the noble scions, and it cut off the flames of the war chief's bloodlust, leaving but the peaceful silence of death on the shrouded pass, such that even the bravest warrior in that valley could only be servile to the star caller. And then when someone pisses you off, will you just say, get him? This was not part of some grand plan, but the decay of the fallen disgusted him still. As such, he used small tricks to incite her to rebellion against the dragons, all in the name of goodwill. Oh, is in the sages. That's Kukulkan. That's, sorry, Waxaklahun Ubakan, which is just a fancy way to say Kukulkan, which is why in 5.5 they stopped dicking around and said, yeah, you can just call him Kukulkan. Yep, as the self-proclaimed sage had thought, manipulating the hearts of humans had always been a simple affair. Add a little fuel onto the flames of suffering here, speak a few clever words about so-called hope there, and that young mortal woman, weak as an ant and foolish as a withered tree, hung upon his every word, where he had not once guided her through the perilous realm of night, to gaze upon those night-wind-shrouded ways. Though she, in her naivete, should have seen not when faced with the mist and smoke. All that was needed now was the gentlest push, and the laughable dreamscape would truly disintegrate. Just as the... And again, this is about Kukulkan trying to get the humans of Na'Lan to overthrow the dragons. He was the mastermind all along. Because he thought humans had more evolutionary potential, quote-unquote. Just as the self-proclaimed sage had predicted, the young woman who had once kneeled before the dragons... in particular, at the end of the 5.2 quest in Ushkanatlan, when you just see his back, he talks about the dragons being too strong to actually grow and change, being sort of singular, whereas the humans who are weak and scrambling. Kind of reminded me of the distinction between the children of Adam and the children of Lilith in Evangelion, which I did not watch and am probably too old to watch without being Diddy now. Sorry for using that word. What an outlander he had never seen before through the wall of fumes with flute and song. And by his perfect plan did he send her silent servant Dinga forth from the deep valley. Then the flames of slaughter would soon be drawn to this land, cut off from the rest of the world as it was. Many years later, when the hero Magan plunged the Python King, and that's Oshkan, who was actually a good guy all along, and he was, like, ambiguously fruity for Shabalanke. Shabalanke. Golden Dagger in his former master's heart, only then did that sage who had thought he could control human hearts realize that the fiery seeds of betrayal had long been sown. Just as that they had not, as he had imagined, pointed towards the dragons in their deep slumber, but had instead come alongside the song of the newborn wild from within the deepest halls of the night realm, securing the foundations of the tribe in Mictlan, that's Masters of Nightwind, for 1,000 years to come. The invisible seven-layered curtains in the cell seal the ancient lightless land of disorder. And amidst the night wind and cold light of day, Anne stole the secret rites that even the self-proclaimed sage could never hope to acquire. Apparently, though, how would we know this far out? Apparently the summer map for, well, is in the final patch map for Snezhnaya is gonna finally be the Mare Jawari, which, if there's anything that could be interpreted as Kapitano Combat Copium, that's what it is. Do not put all your hope in the night, and the answer, of course, humans. Do not rely on the benevolence of the saints, and most of all, do not trust easily the enticements of the one who calls himself a sage. Though we are weak and cowardly, though we are stained by wretchedness and evil, we humans can rely only on ourselves. Yet we mortals are ultimately fragile, even if all goes as I intend, shall only stabilize the boundary for 100 years. Therefore you must speak, you must tell. Tell the people of the tribes, tell them of the glorious ones, heroic and valiant. Tell of their memories, stretch them out upon woven scrolls, and anchor this home that shall in latter days be named Notlan. Take the statuette with you, Dingham, my most loyal servant, probably one of the Wyab statuettes that we got from fighting them, and set off on your journey to follow the first rising dawn. Shall watch over you always, O hero solely mine, bound to your shoulder always like a silken string, till our souls are entwined eternally in profoundest peace. And it... Oh, well, actually, it... The toad of the statuette is presumably Starcaller's Watch itself. So it's just a lore dump about the priestess that at the end decides, yeah, this is the context for the actual weapon. Did you think we weren't going to do it? Well, we almost didn't. We kind of didn't. And what... Did she ever get a name? This gal? Come on, Wiki. That was... Oh, her name is just Magon's Master. She never got a name. And she was probably Ukumbuko because of the fact that she is the predecessor of Satwali, which... It's interesting because Satwali technically has Ukumbuko as her ancient name, but she hasn't received it, but she's predicted to receive it. It's weird. I can pull this up. It was in her vision story, which, you know, no one ever reads. Okay. Sit Bala. You can take your thing now, which honestly doesn't look as good on you with this outfit as it did with this one, but who's really counting? You know what they should have done? Should have a free weapon skin bundled with her new outfit. Hire this man. But a lot of people said that the old outfit was based on its papa, and the current outfit is based on Setwalin, which is the pillow. Or maybe, arguably, it's papa when it turns white and just gains the same color scheme, but who's counting? Okay, let's make this thing better. There's your EM stat stick. There's your EM stat stick. There's our pre-farm. Little totem pole. Okay. That's a lot of 3-star weapons we have to throw it in until we... Well, actually, that might slightly mitigate the amount of... Let's just see how much weapon ore we actually end up spending here. So it started from about 2048, which is a game, too. Well, I mean, no, 2096, which is not a game. Let's just leave Sandy with this default Claymore. Surely this will only end well. This is equivalent to about 375 of them. Yeah, it's with the weapons. It's about around 900, give or take, to take a 5-star weapon from 1 to 90. So the earlier levels are literal peanuts, but I am hoping that all those normal weapons that we picked up just gambling will help us out a little bit. Okay. And it's glowing very, very slightly. Wow. It's the best day of my life. But, oh, I watched some video of people playing Star Fox. And there was one thing I didn't know that I kind of couldn't have known. That's my copium. Which is that I was messing up so much in the all-range mode, is in when you're not on rails but actively have to maneuver yourself around. And it wasn't much. We saved 100 at most, give or take. That's okay. Okay, well, there you go. Very relatively minor Sitfoli upscale. I know Team Energy, but it's really just a more consistent Thrilling Tales, honestly. With damage bonus instead of attack, though that does make it worse for direct reaction scalers, Lunar and Stellar, though you wouldn't be using such a ally in a team with them anyway, would you? Well, so be it. And the Twin Tails are nice. It's cute. She went from being Luca to being Sakura Miku. There you go. Or maybe she's pink because they used... Oh. They used Miku for a certain song in Deltarune Chapter 5, actually. Not to say too much about a game that I'll probably play in 3 years' time when it's all done. But, yeah, and that's Aluga. See, actually, you know what? Let's test this directly. We have time. The only things I'm really going to do would be... Let's get our dailies team set up. And we can kind of level her. Okay. Okay. Sandy. Ah. There you go. Generic Claymore. Yeah, but it's... Can't level her Claymore because it's... You need the new moon... The new secret source bots materials, and I just don't have that. White Fairy's Queening. Attack increased by 28%. And you get Stellar Conduct damage boost, but I wonder if they're going to add Stellar Swirl to this, or if it's going to still be Stellar Conduct. So Sandrone is slightly better for Stellar Conduct, but also just can turn on Stellar Swirl. Again, there's not going to be anyone to actually really use Stellar Swirl other than Music in next patch. So I should prioritize leveling her signature too. I pre-farm for all of them, but the limiting factor is very plainly just the actual weapon ore. Does anything change about the weapon when she uses it specifically? It does not appear to be the case. I don't see anything different when she carries it compared to anyone else carrying it. I mean, it's just, what are they going to do with a weapon that boosts Stellar Conduct damage bonus and really just that? But, there you go. Yeah, an object of fantasy. With countless definitions, emits an endless sea of stories on the grand scale of the universe or the realm of dreams. There is no real difference between the Holy Sword and the Brave Warrior, which is referring specifically to the, well, I've actually got the Calamity of Eshu on Traveler right now, so come on, where? Traveler should still be Pyra, right? Right. Yeah. It's referring to the Holy Sword of Narcissan Kreutz, which I still haven't leveled. And, you know, why will I when Traveler is getting a 5-star signature next patch? Yeah, it does seem that, especially in the wake of them literally just making a free, real 5-star proxy with Pyrolis and Yenlis, that they've decided to at least give us something kind of Remembrance or Harmony main character Trailblazer tier here. With Cryo Traveler and that crazy signature. You could probably make some other Travelers work too, because the signature gives over 100 crit value. It's just only Traveler can use it, so it doesn't matter that much. Because it's, okay, it's busted, and it's on Trevor. No, we're feeding her generic Claymore to her real Claymore. There we go, and yeah, Fractured Lunar Iron. Here we go. Precursor, Secret Source Matrix, and... Oh, it's in the Winter Highlands. Okay, an ancient machine trapped amongst the winter ruins. Even the sturdiest and most reliable machines will be conquered by the passing along years, losing the purpose bestowed upon them by their creators. Now this entity only attacks and eliminates anything that dares set foot on the ground it defends, and I guess there are literally none that are not literally on the moon. I would have thought we would have some in the Misty Shoal, and apparently no. You're kidding. Excuse me. And next is obviously gonna be Yai-Sig. I mean, we're gonna put a new set together in the Stellar set, but still whatever. That's got a little bit of crit, and Yai has it's crit damage, crit rate artifact set, though not as strong as the other crit rate artifact sets. Crit damage weapon. Crit rate ascension. So we'll see. I might want to crit damage circle it. That's gonna be Disenchantment and Deep Shadow. I guess it depends on what we get. And the other thing is that putting the team together, a proper Stellar team together, you should be able to hopefully guarantee Cryo Res. So you shouldn't need more than 85. 85 is the real cap, and it's only plus 16 from the artifact set. What do you mean on the goon? What is that supposed to mean? Explain yourself. I demand you. Of the Brave Warrior and the Princess's Teaspoon, or between, and she's the princess, wow. Or between the ice-cold clock spring and the key that will unlock the gates of transcendence. Like, if you liked running Whimsy Domain, try heroin and crystal meth. It's about as healthy for you. The heroes of different stories will naturally find different holy swords. They must also face different nemeses. For all their strength and schemes, the villains will ultimately be defeated by the heroes wielding their swords. That's directly from one of the pieces in Nymph's Dream. I just pull up the wiki for that. Yeah. Okay. Because Nymph's Dream was just all about the Narcissus and Groit's questline. And come on, wiki. Sword. Okay, they changed it a little. The heroes of different stories will naturally find different expedient holy swords. This also face different nemeses. That's why for all their strength and schemes, the evil dragons will ultimately be defeated by the heroes wielding their holy swords. It's from the Nymph's Dream Circlet specifically. I'm kind of surprised that the wiki often... they miss out on quoting things. You know what? Let's comment. Let's contribute. Maybe I guess I could edit it directly. Well... who are you going to use? First paragraph is a paraphrase of the first paragraph. We just had a trivia tab. It's Ayato and Tartaglia, and it's not even all that much better for them. I know, right? Where would we put the trivia tab? It's above the C also in the other languages. No C also, so we'll put it... actually... where do they put trivia? When there's an available tab. They call it notes, and they put it in between availability and other languages. Okay. Gonna do some live wiki editing. Let's get excited. Okay. I'm a contributing member of society. Oh, actually, I have a spot for this here, and okay. Let's use subheading 1. Hello, I'm editing the wiki. How are you doing? Oh. How is... It's heading. It's heading right there. Heading, and it doesn't automatically add up... What? What? This is... You're on crack. Okay, here we go. Notes... I mean, it's notes, right? It's... No one actually sanitizes this wiki. No one actually is going to come up my ass about... You said notes instead of trivia? Well, whatever. We won the 50-50 for Sandy. I got Satoali's signature. Rolling for Sandy's signature, I got another of Satoali's signature, so that one's R2. And now, it's something with notes. Something with notes. And then we got Satoali's signature, and then I got the best possible result on the Chronicled banner that I probably could have. I got every one of the 4 signatures that I was going to for without any kind, and some came in early, without any kind of unwanted duplicates or anything. Set the course for Mizuki's signature, picked up Sano's signature, then picked up Mizuki's with a fate point. Set the course for Yai's, picked up Rithesli's signature at 3, and then got Yai's with a fate point. It's actually just... It's the luck of someone who spends... if you roll enough, you're going to get weird and lucky eventually. That's really all it is. Okay, so this would actually be trivia, I think. Which one has the bullet point? Bullet points here. First paragraph of this. The weapon lore text? What are they calling it? Weapon description. Description is a paraphrase of the first paragraph in the description of the Fell Dragon's Monocle in the Nymph's Dream artifact set. In the Nymph's Dream, it's at a comma. Be all fancy like. Nymph's Dream artifact set. Not a citation, but we'll take the... There we go. How do we turn this into a link? There we go. And, oh, we can do this internally. There we go. Okay, cool. And there's our edit. See? I am a valuable member of society. I contribute to the search for knowledge. We're understanding this game. Okay. There we go. The bit ran exactly as long as it needed to. It will happen again. If I figure out something and it's not on the wiki, it's getting added to the wiki on stream. Okay. So it ends the same way again. The hero defeats his evil foe, and then he and the princess live happily ever after. Clever, elegant young lady. Yeah, guess who? Close the book. The clockwork counterback gave a faint, confused whir. Yeah, guess who? I don't understand, Elaine. Why do all these stories end the same way? Why does the hero always win? I suppose people prefer stories that are easily to follow and end happily. Once had a friend who loved chess. Looking back, I think it may have not been the game itself he loved, but what the game stood for. And actually, this is also a paraphrase. Let's edit that again. Perhaps. Easy to follow and end happily. He used to say that chess pieces have no choice but to follow the moves set for them, just as those too weak to resist have no choice but to give in to fate. Again, fate is a different game. Stories are no different. If a hero is given a holy sword, then the story must also give him a dragon to defeat. The clever, elegant young lady thought it over with great seriousness for several seconds, then quickly arrived at the perfect conclusion. I have no idea what that means. Then let me tell you a different kind of story. In this one, the hero with the holy sword does not win. Long, long ago, in a land far, far away, there was a kingdom ruled by a white dragon. And it... Are they referring to Folklores or Nuve as the... It's probably Nuve. I guess this is implying that Elaine somehow knew that Nuve was the Hydro Dragon. They were implied to be pretty close, so that makes some sense. The prophecy foretold that the kingdom was destined to dry up and perish, and that even the beautiful princess would wither along with it. To save the dying world inside the eggshell, the hero Narcissus Kreutz went in search of the greatest holy sword ever spoken of in legend. He believed salvation can only be reached by severing ordinary bonds, uniting the wishes of all, and crossing beyond the bounds of good and evil. Nietzsche! Nietzsche! Holy crap. I mean, arguably, the finale of the Deep Craftable from Fontaine refers to Fiume and Gabriel D'Annunzio, which... I mean, if they can mention Hyperborea, I guess they can make jokes about esoteric fascism. Like, is Genshin the game's first dark woke video game? That question does not need to be answered. Unstinting in sacrifice, unflinching in farewell, undaunted by pain. The hero Narcissus Kreutz also always dreamed on a scale so vast and noble. And the interesting thing is, again, it's recontextualizing the Narcissus Kreutz questline and the... Let me check. The Anapausis questline. And just the Nymphstream artifact set, which was sort of... Elaine is the awesome hero who beat the evil dragon, and... But of course here, Renee / Narcissus Kreutz is the dragon. I mean, is the hero, and Elaine is the dragon. Because he... Yep, exactly. Divine King of Narcissus and story. Yep, and exactly, it's dragon, they name it Narcissus. But of course, it's all a misconception. And presumably, I suppose, the Nymph's Dream artifact set was always, or at least is totally recontextualized to be about, you know, Narcissus Kreutz being a hero who ended up being wrong. Because again, he didn't know about the Traveler. He couldn't really have known about the Traveler. The only reason Narcissus Kreutz's plot was not necessary to prevent the flood from destroying Fontaine and presumably the world and dissolving all the Oceanid people, was because the Traveler was there to stop it. If the Traveler was not into that, something that was arguably not predictable in any sense, Narcissus Kreutz assimilating everyone into one funny big purple hydrotulpa would literally have been necessary. I'm not doing theater until I have Sandy and Yai built, unfortunately. When, in 2 weeks, I will do a big run where I do Stygian and theater again. I will, to reward your hard work and dedication, give me like 3 local legends or bosses, and teams, preferably silly but not stupid, for me to fight them with. Now, that is what I will do for you. Aren't I so nice? Okay. Okay. So that no mortal vessel could withstand its weight, and so the hero longed to transcend the weakness of flesh and blood. Adeptus Mechanicus. He dreamed of shouldering all sin and suffering by himself, of wiping every tear from the world through the mysteries of a tearless magic. Squeaky Wheel gets the grease. Also, you can't run Raiden without Chevy, I'm sorry. I can try Raiden Chevy on something. That's our compromise. Of wiping every tear from the world through the mysteries of a tearless magic, and of obtaining what some call transcendence, a transformation like the leap from ape to man. But there was an evolution into that. They're talking about Earth. But what is a kingdom without its people, so the White Dragon... No, the White Dragon is Elaine. Because he's good, but in the story he is the antagonist. Stubbornly clinging to the old ways, try to stop the righteous hero. Built countless wicked mechanisms, that's all the Clockwork Mecha. Scatter them across the land. I I want to tell you that Chevy only really works on teams that are only Pyro and Electro. There's a certain someone here who is a chivalrous devotee who you are probably going to infuriate if you say things like that. Yeah, I'll run that. That's a real team. I'll do that. I'll go do that right now. What boss should I fight with that? Infinitesimal? I mean, what else, right? Just infinitesimal. And before the hero fell into the chasm that dissolves all things, he seemed to think of the times he had once spent with the dragon. Then he said, yes, hatred shall not fill me. Know that you have not seen the sights I have, and that is why you wish to stop me. I will surely return to save all souls. 10 years, even 100 years may pass, but I shall be reborn as a new universe. His dream was always so sincere, the dragon thought. Perhaps for a moment the dragon even wished the hero could win. That a dragon is a dragon in the end, a dragon is not so easily moved by a hero's heart. So the dragon only watched as the hero fell into the rift, and he and his dream dissolved together all in vain. The dragon was awful. Yes, that's why he was the dragon. Even though he defeated the hero, he lost everything he treasured most, including his sister, the original Marianne. Perhaps the dragon simply could not understand the hero's choice. The hero wanted to save the human world, but couldn't accept human weakness. That's why he absorbed everyone and turned them into a tulpa. I mean, the Hydra tulpa is the remnant of one of Renee's experiments, which I forget oftentimes, actually. And if not, everyone could become a hero strong enough to rise above fate, and there was no meaning in transcendence for one person alone. Oh, I don't like this story. The hero was too arrogant, the dragon was too stubborn. They're both idiots who couldn't find another way. Well, yeah, but also the Shred is... In a team without another source in Shred, it's... Yeah, we could do Raiden versus Raiden. Well, Raiden herself is immune to Electro, which is why the story boss Raiden you fight is immune to Electro. But the Shogun bot, and weekly Raiden is the Shogun bot, the Shogunator. Well, family name Raiden, personal name Shogun. Her name is literally Shogun. It's that stupid. But she's not immune to Electro because in the Raiden Part 2 story quest, you have to fight the Shogun with A herself. That would not work if the Shogun puppet was Electro immune. Yeah, they claimed they wanted to save the world, but they couldn't even understand what the other was thinking. If it were me, I'd never do it like that. That's good to hear. After all, this idea of sacrificing yourself to save the world is a little more than an unrealistic obsession. That is why stories where the righteous kind-hearted hero wins are often more popular. The heroes of different stories will naturally find different holy swords, must also face different nemeses, and that's the quote again, and for all their strength and schemes, the villains will ultimately be defeated by the heroes wielding their swords. Okay. Alright. The bell is used when performing the Conqueror dance, blessed by the Guja yourself. The scent of the sacred sakura tree lingers on it, and before this, we can level that too, so... I guess we should... whatever. I'll do Mystic Shoal on Saturday too. Get closer to that weapon. Okay, let's do Raiden with the others. Make you happy. Placate the malcontents of this world. Hi, Nicole. Nico. Yeah. Durin. And Chevy. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Durin doesn't snapshot, so he'll be able to make the most use of the buff if we let Chevy in then. Yeah, that's legitimately a very good team. Though, eventually you want to replace Bennett with Yansan on the team when she gets strong enough, usually. It's actually a very good team. With enough investment, it's arguably actually better than Mavic Mount. Taking that back from... Why did Candace have that? Something related to Fab Lances. Okay. So yeah, Weekly Raiden shouldn't be in trouble with this, and we gotta run some bookway lines. Yeah. The 20% pyro damage bonus is nice, but it's not indispensable in the slightest. The real question is, if they actually had a sacrificial lance Would it be better than Fav Lance and on who? Oreron? You'll probably get one eventually, he's standard. Okay, cool. Just like so, and well, we gotta finish it in one then. Alright. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, alright. No. Okay. Rough. Yeah, this is a good team. It's a very good team. So she had a harder time getting her burst back than I would have expected. Oh well. Yeah, she didn't even get a second chance to do anything. I don't need the rewards. Fair. But at the very same time, well, I mean, I think that's obviously, it's literally the difference between Fab and Sacrificial. Sacrificial is better when you have a character who needs a lot of energy themselves, but the rest of the team doesn't really. Which is Xing Chao sometimes. Yeah. I mean, the big thing, the real trick with that is that would actually allow you to put down 2 Globas, which is as silly as it sounds. Let's let Sandy here until she's leveled, honestly. It should still be well in doing the DPS. Okay. Let's just make sure that we don't overcap on resin. Yeah, you can, and the reason I know this is because gamblers, if you have Xiangling's skill cooldown reset through an effect such as Gamblers, the 3 and 4-star artifact set, or anything else that resets skill cooldown, which is not especially common, she can use Guoba again, and it will just put a second Guoba down. Not especially, because my Yansan is C1. It's actually pathetic. Before we forget, that's attack boost, whatever. He needs some buffs. They need some Fatui faction buffs for him. They did add Stellar Conduct to this, but it's not as if he's good with it. At all. Okay. Hama. You got C6 Diona, so you can use her as a budget Stellar off-fielder on a team where you have Cryo Traveler. And that's not C6 yet. We still couldn't do the funny tech on the Wolf last patch where you just swirl Pyro off of Lynette's own weapon using the Animo Infusion and Bennett's Burst Pyro Infusion at C6 and her C6 to, on White Wings, pierce through cloud and fog. Levos, Swallow's Pinion Dance. Okay. Yeah, that's the Dance of the Snowy Moon and Fruit. Attack boost, Knights of Hearth and Happiness. Arwakino mentioned, Moment Awaken and Resolve. Crit damage boost. C6 Yansan increases the duration of the timer, which otherwise can end earlier than... Hello! We did a lot of rolling today. Earlier than you might like, and also means that she can give an additional bit of damage percent to the on-field character, especially if they're Night Soul. A littlest luck. And it's some crit rate and crit damage, and it's still a pain in the ass to do. And now she is a side grade. Only now is she a side grade to a C0 non-fully leveled Sucrose. She's that bad. Can they buff Yahoda? Can they buff Yahoda to be Cellar Swirl too? She probably deserves it. Yeah. It's legitimately a very strong constellation, to the point that Yansan as a character is very, very different with it versus without it. Alright. Alright. Here we go. 1, 2. Cool. I am kind of starting having a hard time near the end of the patch because being tired, honestly. Keeping up with the rhythm of those charge attacks. Who are Noah and the Queen? Are you referring to Sandrone as the Queen? I got no idea what you're talking about. At least the animation's over. Okay. And Ascension is... Yeah, it's a boost to that. Skill and damage bonus, and yeah, right, getting more EM. We can level you up a decent amount. But again, without the superconduct set, it's... Why bother? She got Land Cruiser mats because she invented the Land Cruisers. You go, girl. Are you rolling for Reen or Gilgamesh or both? Or... that's right. She said something. Hansu... Narcissorelagium, which is literally Clock of Narcissus. I think... No, it's Horologium. Horologium. Legend of Narcissus? I don't know. 7, the Fatui Harbinger's marionette, because she never left the Fatui. Dotori's dead, why would she? Well, we think he is. Trip itself phenomena through the prism of mathematics is an elegant lady who is never absent from a tea party. Yeah, I have never had orange chicken, actually. Okay, who do you think is better? Your number one is obviously Arle, but... Yeah, I mean, Reen is tempting because she's Reen. I hate self-introduction. You're supposed to know me. You'll get to know me naturally. If you're not, well, waste the time and energy, but very well. For the sake of etiquette, I'll humor you just once. Behold, before you stands Marionette, 7th Fatui Harbingers, and that's what she said when she met us in Nodcry. That's right. Calculation underway. Inputting variables. Hansu. That's the same word she used to describe the Traveler as a Descender when she was trying to bring Bina back. That's right. Yo, it... Something. It's nice when there are non-toxic, devoted Fatui fans. Because of the reputation that some of them have. I am very much a Fatui fan. It's like a real Fatui fan never talks badly of Koan being a cute moments. No. The Traveler's sibling is the leader of the Abyss Order. Which is almost as far away from Fatui as you can get. Yeah. I mean, if anyone's going to be the 10th Harbinger, it's going to be the Traveler themselves. That's a real question. If the Traveler did end up being the 10th Harbinger, a slot that has heretofore remained completely unoccupied to our knowledge, unless someone else ended up getting erased for Irminsul, or maybe it ended up being Diwukstat Krepus or something. That would make some sense, but... you can be. A good hero needs good enemies. Paimon would not be the 10th Harbinger. What Paimon might be, maybe, is the remains of the 3rd Descender, after the 3rd Descender was turned into Gnosis. That's my current working theory. Sort of the Omni-Gnosis. And, well, we can't do any more levels right now, but we're waiting for that event. So that I don't end up getting more Watcher Feathers than I need, because why would I want that? You preform the exact correct amount, and they really said, let's make a character who needs everything for the first time in forever. And the really screwed up thing is that in Notlan, though they gave us in Notlan 3 different local legends who dropped the Saurian warrior flutes, Sappho and Riwa, yeah, lesbian number 1 and lesbian number 2, and Papar the cactus, they eventually at least gave us the peak, which, to be fair, you can only really fight with Varsa as a local legend you can fight for Saurian Fangs. But all the Nodcry local legends are over, and they didn't do a single Land Cruiser one. I could see them doing one in Snezhnaya because they were presumably invented at the Armory Palace and just showed up in Nodcry. We're probably going to get Oprishniki enemies showing up in Snezhnaya. As far as we've seen, we're not actually getting any new Fatui-type enemies right now. The closest would be just various fairies and Snow and Fae fighting on the side of the Tsaritsa, but besides that, not really. The turning the gears in various machines, the precise point where the primordial sea freezes, the frequency at which the night songs gently drift in the air, the ancient laws of the tides ebb and flow, Columbina mentioned. The rising and setting of the moon, Columbina mentioned again. All these can be brought under theorems reducible to queen-neat formulas. Thus, then it does us no harm to admit, as indeed we must, that our gods, our hopes, and the things we love can all be defined by a reason. We can believe in something so long as solid evidence can be produced for it. If not, then we'll have to first prove it. This is how a proper lady carries herself. She who submits to the unknown out of weakness of will cannot be called such. And what else did she say? There is no way that they actually have Paimon. Progress is smooth. That they actually have Paimon being evil. They didn't have Albedo end up evil. There's really no chance that they end up having Paimon be evil. Just because... honestly. Stellar Conduct. And again, this is about a fourth of the damage in the normal beam. And again, it's 4 times as much damage when you do a full cooldown via the skill. So it's just another shot. I don't think this game is getting bought by Disney anytime soon. I don't think Disney would have any interest. Disney has already ruined one anime aesthetic series in Kingdom Hearts, so I think that's kind of done. Oh, I will. I'm not using Sandrone until... in any serious sense, until I actually go and do the the Witch's Revelation quests on Saturday. As of right now, I mean, I can't even level up her weapon because I need to go to the moon for that. That is something that I am also waiting on. But we killed a bunch of land cruisers doing ley lines already, okay. Oh, as in you're joking that it can't be leveled because it's a passive. I thought you meant in the sense of doing her... I thought you were referring to doing her Witch's Revelation to unlock her Stellar Revelation passive, but... it's another dumb joke about things that aren't physically possible. Guards, send him to the dungeon. Who's guards? Okay. Well... no, it's... you see, assuming the best of people and trying to understand things that are stated unclearly, unfortunately does sometimes lead to missing bits. But it's almost funnier when you have to circle back and remind me like I'm an idiot, so... we take these. Okay, so let's see. What is our Zebai team DPS gonna be at before and after C6ing our Iluga? You can do Wordle too. Okay. What if we send you the dungeon? Also, if we send you the dungeon, Arlecchino is not going to be there. So... don't get your hopes up. Yeah. Well... she has Abed right now, right? I think. Can we even check while we're in here? What we've got equipped? Here we go. Power creep! Power creep! It will very slightly overcap. Yeah, we can't actually check our character descriptions. But I don't have other artifacts that I can just give to her right now for that, unfortunately. And honestly, it's gonna be at least half a year before I use Z-Buy for anything meaningfully again. That will be something I complain about when that happens. So get excited. Oh, okay. Oh, it's real DPS checker gamers. Okay. Cool. There we go. Nice. Shorten that rotation slightly. And here we are. As soon as we get those down. Does that individual say that? Not too familiar. Aww. Alright. Second time around, maybe. Then we'll do 3 rotations, and that's good, really. Alright. I don't know what it was, but I seem to remember this team being slightly stronger in some way. Oh well. Yeah, it's about 170 as things stand, give or take. Let's see, 6 Aluga. That's true. And that's why I'm fake. I'm a loser, I'm a clown. I don't play melt teams because I don't want to think about things. And then I try Mavica Melt and flail around badly trying combos and make people on YouTube comment on me sucking. But that's engagement. We take those too. Goodness. Okay. So we were at 169. Nice. They don't really get mad, but they get pedantic. What will you do to make that worth my time? That's the real question. My 5, maybe 7 days of phone financial sales have taught me to be a hard bargainer. And unfortunately, you're being victimized by that now. It's more bad lessons, you know. Okay. Do you use Yansan for that? Who would I even be using for that? If you tell me who to use, I will try that on something. Probably something open world, maybe. That's tempting. But also, I try to have a commitment to the truth. Anything that would encourage people to tell lies. I didn't even notice that this was Wordle instead. We're doing Wordle first. Yeah, anyone do the Genshin Wordle for today who wants to cheat and ruin my day? Okay. Yeah, so I'd be using Shionen because my Yansan is donkey balls. Yeah. HEA heats. Heavy? No. If it's not there... Hey? I have to find some other words to move these letters around. Oh! Well, to be fair, it's also... If I pulled it off, then maybe I wouldn't suck anymore. The truth content would change. You would change what you were saying out of a commitment to the truth. This is also interesting. YEA. Oh, and it... Dogman, what are your thoughts on Cyberpunk Edgerunner Season 2? I asked one of my boys who liked the first one, and also liked Cyberpunk the game. He ran a Cyberpunk-themed D&D tabletop campaign some years back, and all I could kind of think of is, why aren't you just running a game of Cyberpunk Red? Well, the reason is obvious, which was that getting someone to play a non-D&D tabletop system is like pulling teeth, but... AE... Just to get the E and the A. Wait, what? That was totally wasted. What the heck? A. I need to be taken out back and shot. I thought I was gonna have to come into work on Saturday, but the schedule came out. It comes out in the middle of the week. So instead of a short day tomorrow and I'm free on Saturday, until I really get into it, it's supposed to be 45-day weeks, which is wacky. It's not there. A might be H-A? Hey? Oh my goodness. A-E-Y. Mealy? Could try that just to test letters. Maybe. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is how tired I am. I kind of thought about hopping off immediately after I started rolling, because it's just... My work schedule is also... It's been alternating between days from 7 to 4 and 10 to 7. I know, you don't have to apologize or explain yourself. I'm just holding up my end of the bit. Rest assured that I am not going to feel insecure about not being able to do Mavica combos. It's fun to pretend to be that way for a bit, but if it isn't, high A words with H-E-A and Y. It's not heavy, obviously. 15-letter words. Guy cheating on Miliastra Wonderland Wordle. Can we kill this guy? Oh, hyena? Might be heady. Oh, it's not heady. Might be hyena. It's probably hyena. It's probably cart ride through 16 pregnant hyenas or whatever the number was, that weird Roblox game. I hope none of you know what I'm talking about, for your own sake. They banned that. Like, rare Roblox W. Okay, is it hyena? Thank you! I love cheating. Okay, there we go. Oh, that had a speaker. Okay. Well, now let's test out the C6 Iluga. Yeah, but you want me to try Mob Hex Vape on something? And then I think I'll level up Kagura then. Well, I don't know. I cannot afford to go to the moon and extend things even later when I'm already rather sleep deprived. I mean, I'm having fun. But eventually I need to decide, you know, as someone who is driving in the morning. I mean, to be fair, it's driving at 6 a.m. when nobody else is on the road, and leaving at 1 p.m. when also nobody else is on the road. But, I mean, it's... If I crashed my car and died... Like, if I crashed my car again and it was my fault, not only would that be bad, but also I probably wouldn't be here on Saturday to game, or Friday to game more, which I think I would dislike that. You're free to have your own opinions, but I would not like that much. Okay, so it's back to the bit. Okay, so I don't suck, but I also suck. But okay. I understand. I guess. Okay. Well, that's nice. That's fun. We are going to basically exactly hit cap with this now. She's gonna be at 101 exactly. Which, that's where my Nefer is, so... I mean, sorry, I guess, if that offends you. Okay. But personally, I don't like leaving things to chance. Okay. And let's just see how much better this is. It's a shame that I won't get a chance to really use this team for a while, but there you go. It's a little bit more. It's not amazing, but it's meaningful. Yeah. It's... well, it's good. It's actually very meaningful, wow. Okay. And it's about 10k DPS from that alone. If not a little bit more. Oh, without. Oh, yeah. So now I get to criticize you. You're in the hot seat and... oh my... okay. Hear that? Okay. I mean, to be fair, it also just... I was getting kind of close on some previous tests. And also the calculator's kind of silly sometimes, but... that added a cool 20k DPS. Yeah. Okay. Also, hello. Hana Nene wo? Hana Nene wo? I have the opportunity to try to guess whether that's Japanese or Hawaiian, and I'm going to get pilloried. I'm going to tie my own rope if I get that wrong. So instead, I'm going to look it up. Oh, it's Toilet Bound Hanako-kun? One of my friend's ex-girlfriends, who was my friend, and when they broke up, it destroyed my friend group, was a Toilet Bound Hanako-kun fan. So there you go. Okay. Here's the... no foul. No, it... which is why I looked it up instead. I didn't want to get stoned. At least, not to death with rocks. And not really the weed kind either, honestly. I have, like, drug tests to maybe pass. Potentially. Stuffed tofu with mincemeat, and this is Nicole's food, actually. That's where you get that. So. Also over here in Nodgrot, we got 2 recipes over at the... ooh, the food stalls. That's right. At Wimpu, and then Katya. This is why you read the patch notes, because otherwise, literally, how would you know? Meat-filled rye bun. Conceptually interesting. And she does not have a special... we can dash. That's right. She does not have her own special sugar sculpture because she is a Sneznaya character. What was the RIP, the friend group thing? This was 5 years ago. And you will never guess what catalyzed it. Have I told you this story before? I don't think I have. Birch steamed pork ribs. Sounds tasty. Making me so hungry I eat my computer. Maybe. And we got 3 standard rules from Sandy. That's gonna take me to... how much again? It's gonna take me to 9 from 6 on normal. Nice. But the answer is that... okay. So at the time, I was trying to... and this is a sin, a crime worthy of the death penalty. But this was during coronavirus, and my job actually does not drug test. It's a white-collar job, which, I mean, something I noticed and something I talked to my dad about is that they don't care about what you do off the clock. They don't manage your time because they assume that everyone there is actually wants to be there and wants to work. Despite paying so much worse, bad jobs will constrain your time and be outright fascist about what you do with that time. To an extent that good jobs that pay more won't. So it's just bad upon bad, or I guess good upon good. It's genuinely pretty egregious, but yeah. So we bought our food. Who do you want me to try Mavica Hex Vape against? Nice. Potentially. In the meantime, I'll actually do my dailies before I forget they exist. But the answer is that I was trying to get my friends into Fate Grand Order during coronavirus. And that led to us in a Discord server that I made and was the God King of, unfortunately. It wasn't good for me. And these were people I knew from real life, which is worse. These were my high school friends. That I, to various extents, literally corrupted into playing Fake Rebel. But they did corrupt me back into playing this game, which, unlike those, I've stuck with this one. So, though to be fair, that's probably my punishment. So much damage, we actually broke right through. Holy crap. But, basically, this was... it was the... What year was this? It was... Oh, I was turning... It was like 2020, I think. No, it was 2021 in the spring. They were doing the Tokugawa Oku event in FGO the first time around. I was rolling for Kama. And actually, no, I don't think it wasn't that. It was right before it. I was rolling for King Protea on the Fate Extra CCC rerun. None of these words will mean anything to anyone here but me. But I was rolling for King Protea, a name that doesn't matter to you. And I thought I'd turn all the notifications off. And, okay, the story deepens. But, basically, Jack's cousin, who actually, if you watched or watch any of the FNAF videos I did, she was the one on there guiding me. But what ended up happening was... I mean, because you're exploring. And this will not reflect well on me, and it's not supposed to. Full disclosure, but basically, due to make a long story short, there were a couple of people in the friend group, one gal and a friend she had from somewhere else in the States, online exclusive, you know, AO3, friends through AO3, literally. Maybe some other Discord, but they were both fanfiction types. I mean, that's just life, but basically, during coronavirus, near the start of things, they started playing a lot of Among Us over Discord, and that included, you know, fighting each other, killing each other, and the one gal and her friends, anytime her friend was the imposter, and she, you know, the first girl was a crewmate, her friend would throw because her friend could not stomach the possibility of having to kill her. And the gal who was helping with FNAF a couple years back, a while back now, was so pissed off by this threatening the competitive integrity, and frankly just making the game not fun to play, when based on the random chance of just distribution of roles someone was going to throw. I just came to very much dislike this person. And at the behest of this person, basically a separate Discord was made to have a place to basically talk and exist without the FNAF gal who did not like the Amogus lack of ethical behavior. Yeah, all my friends are current victims of me. You're included. It's mostly Bala, but everyone else is also included. But as I was saying, what happened was I thought I had turned notifications off, and that pop-ups wouldn't show up, because obviously, and again, this is not meant to reflect well on me in the slightest, that server was very obviously a secret from her and one other guy. And then the notification popped up anyway. They saw that existed. And what ended up happening is that pretty much everyone, except for Jack's ex-girlfriend, who had been the one to actually make the server, basically threw her under the bus and took the side of FNAF Gal, which is meant to reflect even worse on me, frankly. But that is how things ended up happening and how that friend group got destroyed. And it also destroyed the Fate-themed D&D campaign I was running at the time, which is the real tragedy. But, yeah. Exactly, right? We all have to... Let's all have really low self-esteem and let people take advantage of us. This can only end well. And it... Well, it doesn't make the mark on the ground when it is in mid-air, but it does still have rubble coming out of nowhere. It's a good thing we will not really ever use our normals unless we're, I guess, breaking a Geo Ward that the team otherwise doesn't have a limit. Oh! That's right, Kaira-sama. Let's check out Sandrone's special commission dialogue. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild, my lady. She said Kaidai-sama, which is just marionette in Japanese. Is there something I can help you with? And if we leave, farewell, my lady, and thank you for supporting the Adventurers Guild. Yeah, Kaidai-sama again. There you go. And if we claim it, we get special food. Wait, oh. Why are we the traveler again? Let me see, and it. But we still got it. Tea Party Prelude Herbal Tea. Floral herbal tea, well worth savoring, gentle and smooth, with a soft floral aroma that is both elegant and full-bodied. Its orange red liquor glows like rosy light through clouds, soothing the heart with warmth and calm. Holy crap, we got Escoffier too. Free food. And that's good too. This is... yeah. Do. It's honestly easy for me to forget that Sandrone made the Catherines. Really? Okay, so I'll read the lore in Mizuki Sano and Rethesli's signatures when I actually get a chance to level them. Yeah, wait a year. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by monumental news for the unemployed? She can bridge herself, yeah. Not that anyone needs to do that anymore, but oh, it... Wait, excuse me? Okay, so after long enough, it will stop. Interesting. But I think she can keep going on water forever. If you're smart about it. We just do our cancel. Yeah. You can go on your own ice bridge. Yeah, that's exactly. Kaya too. What does it matter in a world where everyone and their mother has Fiorina? But... new meta. New ice bridge meta. Something people have not done in years. Yeah. Yeah. And notably, you can also transition back from doing the normal actual movement version of the E. She'll do a little ripple on the water to step off it and keep going with the freeze, and there we are, Paimon barrier. Well, does your mother have Fiorina then? Never mind. Okay, so we're gonna run a couple way lines. We're gonna level Yai's signature. And then you're gonna bully me into fighting some local legends with really stupid teams so I can reward your hard work and effort. What if I ran Melt Sandrone? Probably could. Wouldn't be very good, but I mean, could. The Sandrone local legend, or I guess more accurately, the kind of stellar or any cryo but just pure freeze team local legend, is on the moon, so I can't do that one yet. That one also has a well-enduring Oracle Legend, too. You might not be part of everyone, but everyone you've drained is part of you. Arguably. You know, as they say, you are what you eat. And let me just check something real quick, and it's... Yeah. The attack buff to Durin only works while he's in Master Stroke, so even though we aren't dealing in damage ourselves, it's good to stay in this mode just to make sure that Durin gets a very tiny attack buff. Okay. I'm getting to the point where I do feel a little inclined to actually just level all my characters, because next patch it's Alyosha and Odette. We can... I wonder when we'll actually get another Inazuma Chronicle. Because at this point in time, the only characters I don't have are Ito and Ayato. Hopefully when they bring them back, they'll buff them. I'm not really holding my breath, though. You know, it could be funny if they made Ito explicitly a lunar crystallized character. Because Ito had a bit of a renaissance in the same way that Navi and Noelle did. To a lesser extent, really, but... The interesting thing is that people were actually running him on Night Sky. Just for his triggered lunar crystallized damage. Though at that point, Noelle would kind of get the job done better, because she can also just do good damage proper through her Furious energy for a Hydro Crystallized team. You had Bina, Linnea, Furina, and Noelle. But at the very same time, Ito does not have the same energy issues, so... Not especially well built unless she's holding Serpent Spine. And even then, really. Yeah, Okay, that was just your test to make sure I paid her the proper respect. I respect that myself. I wonder if they're going to make Noelle Hexerai. Because it is notable that they give Diona, though for now just Diona in terms of Mondstadt, Stellar instead of Hex. Though to be fair, I mean, they could give anyone a connection to the witches if they really wanted to. It would just be especially difficult for Diona, really, but... Oh, come on. As I was saying, I guess they could, I don't know, when they had Pyro version of Stellar and Lunar, they could give Noelle Pyro Crystallized, Solar Crystallized or something, but You're starting to scare me. As in, even more than you usually do. Okay, well... Yeah. That's right, we gotta remember to... put her in the pea pot. Yep. Right. We level Kagura, I war dump to you again. You cry about it at least a little bit, and... Right. Also, there is... They have new recipes. Tea party done, tip with the perfect gathering. Tea party dessert done. Tea party cup refreshing flavor. Tea party chair crimson and gold. Tea party carpet soft to the touch. Infinite recursion formula. Tea party at leisure. Okay. Which is, I wonder if that's going to be for the Nod Cry, or counted as Nod Cry, or Fontaine Furnishing. Let me see. It's not Fontaine Furnishing. It's not Nod Cry Furnishing either. Huh. Oh, well, I'm a dumbass. I didn't actually pick up those recipes. That's a better idea. What I will say... Promise me one thing, which is that we strike a balance in between it being just a good team and being a team that's just a joke. Something that's a challenge but interesting to watch in that specific context. Let's start with Infinitesimal. Lavatar boss. That's one that's fun to play with. And Sandy. Sandra. I'll leave that there. Okay. This guy's gonna say Mavica Hex Vape and act like he's the funniest person in the world. Okay. So let's see, does that count as Nodcry or Fontaine? It doesn't seem to count as either. Really? Huh. It probably counts as Sneznaya. Or will when the category actually exists. Is this guy serious? Okay. So as in Mona official, Shiwanan, and I mean that's fine really. Mavica herself. Once we make furnishings, sure. Tea party cart dessert time. A wooden tea cart wood with assorted desserts, meticulously arranged to ensure every sweet treat is within easy reach. Whenever the host wishes to catch up with her friends, she prepares an abundance of delicacies to entertain those who spare a moment to visit. Tea party cup, refreshing flavor. Utensil. Is that a category that already existed? Probably just for plates. Not forks or spoons. Only a spoonful. If you want. If you want me to run something like Varisa, like during Varisa, that's fun too. I just, you know me. I dislike Mavica personally. Tea party cup, refreshing flavor, an exquisitely small teacup featuring a heat-resistant handle and a saucer. It's often filled with mild, refreshing tea to counteract the lingering sweetness that comes from enjoying too many tea time sweets. And he hoists himself by his own petard, as per usual. But as I was saying, I think I've probably said this in your presence before, but I think not one storyline should have been drawn out a bit like they ended up doing with Noctry. They should have had Capitano be the first weekly boss, Nyx the chess boss, because why the hell does it exist? Then just fake Zuocoatl being the second, just keep it the same. Made Capitano playable when they release his Trounce domain, have him appear in some festival events, be prominent through the storyline, and then at the end of it just kill him off for good with no doubt. And then one, you got precedent that being playable does not mean you're safe in the storyline. And two, you don't have to have people coping for centuries about him coming back because it's the only way for him to be playable. That's how I would do it. The way I would do it, personally, especially since they use Serene abilities in the final Avengers Assemble Abyss Night Kingdom area before Gesoithoth. And it was obviously just an excuse because Yansan was not in the game yet. I mean, extend that so you've got the Volcano and Yansan out, so that you can just have segments where you play as every single hero in conjunction with Mavica, in part to show their compatibility with Mavica kit-wise, use their soaring abilities, and then, I don't know, Capitano burns himself out, freezing Gesoithoth in place as it tries escaping so Mavica can deal the final blow. And he's playable, and then he dies, and he gets a cool ending, and we don't have to cope. Oh, with Sucrose. I can try. Tea party chair, crimson and gold. A finely crafted tea chair, its deep crimson frame is elegantly accented with golden patterns, boasting a plush backrest and armrests for ultimate comfort. Guests of the tea party have nothing but praise for it, though some have quietly left a small suggestion. If only the cushion were stuffed a little thicker and softer, it would be absolutely perfect. I'll try it. The big thing, though, is that you're not going to be getting really any overburn on the boss. You will be breaking its Geo Shield, its Geo Ward, but it's still going to be stupidly bulky because you've got Hydro bringing its overburn meter back down. Tea party carpet, soft to the touch, a tea party rug featuring traditional symmetrical design and boasts rich burgundy. What about rich mahogany? And dark blue background tones, elegantly adorned with pale gold motifs. Crafted from premium materials with a dense, meticulous weave, it is exceptionally plush, offers an exquisite feel underfoot. If you want to. But I'm fine trying that and having you laugh at me when I inevitably do worse than you. But I would probably prefer that be on a boss where having Hydro is not going to gimp me. Infinite recursion formula. You live a hard life, you know, being a vampire and all, so be as evil as you want. Make me suffer. I definitely deserve it after the big payday I got just today. Yeah, exactly. I won't have to get caught in a car crash tomorrow if I suffer now, right? A recursive calculation mechanism crafted by a brilliant engineer assembled from 3 rods and a series of discs at decreasing size. What appears to be nothing more than a simple puzzle toy contains remarkably complex algorithmic logic. Governed by the single rule that a larger disc may never be placed atop a smaller one, many have found endless fascination in this tabletop curiosity. They even keep it close at hand on their desk just to find the optimal solution. I mean, then I'll play that. I'll give Noel Serpent Spine and just run that team. Probably be more fun, too. I'll just do that. Okay, cool. So we do that. Maybe I'll do a couple more. I mean, we're hitting 3 hours. I thought I was going to quit out as soon as the rolls were done. The rolls themselves took longer than I expected to, but that's always the case. Tea party dining table, the perfect gathering. Exquisite tea party table adorned with beautifully symmetrical patterns. What makes a gathering truly perfect isn't how grand the feast is, nor how many fun activities are planned. As long as friends can gather around this round table. Moment is already flawless. Okay, cool. It's been a while since I got to use Noelle. We need to put some respect on her name. Now is the time come. Okay. And that's going to do Overburn. That's going to do the Geo Ward. That's actually a usable team. Wow. But again, with the crit, I probably should still give Yai a crit damage circlet. I mean, crit rate circlet. Well, I mean, we'll see how everything else rolls, because she's definitely be getting a double crit Flower and Feathers, so there's some risk of overcapping, really. Okay. Moment of truth. Moment of you laughing at me. Probably. Spine back. During Fischl. The attack buff will only slightly help her, but that's fine too. Who should? Good question. Honest to goodness, I don't know. My Durin's probably going to be dealing more damage. We should do Cinder City on the Pyro, I would say. As under you're asking me personally, but you know, now it's gotta be Disenchantment, the Superconduct set. Because even without Stellar, a lot of her damage in Kit is kind of dependent on Superconduct, or at least works with it. So it's a perfectly viable way to play her now. Okay, and here we go. Put this down, and oh well, we forgot to switch to Serpent Spine. That's fine, I guess. You know what? Even better. You can watch this. Okay. How many can we go for? That's... we'll see. 1, 2, and oh, Durin took a big hit. Oh, well, that's... I think somebody probably needs some kind of... Oh my goodness. Energy on this team is becoming kind of unworkable. Oh, now I see. I mean, how are you going to get that out in time, though? Just battery, or... Oh, weird. Let's give her Serpent Spine before I forget again. You know, when Inazuma Chronicled banner comes back around, you know what I'll do just for you? I will roll for Red Horn Stone Thresher just for Noelle. Would that make you happy? Oh, is in substats. I mean, for Yai specifically, yeah, it depends on what I get. I mean, it's definitely going to be a substat difference. And it is that much harder to get a good EM piece than a good attack piece. But if I'm actually making one, when I do my condensation, I'll look it up. But the big thing there is she gets direct scaling from EM. It'd probably be different from Sandrone, who gets free EM via her attack from her A4 passive. For Sino, especially with Signature, you want to be running double EM, maybe even full EM, honestly. But I think it's more along the lines of you can run EM attack if you want, but are just as fine running attack from what I've seen. Again, it's just a matter of, if I had EM main stat, good disenchantment pieces, Sino is getting prioritized for very obvious reasons. Okay, I think I understand how I'm going to need to do things here, which is very, very silly. Using a sort of dry Shionen E, literally just for energy for Noelle. Because previously, anytime I was running Noelle, she was on a mono Geo team, so she didn't need much energy recharge at all, because everyone else was producing relatively large amounts of geoparticles. And in particular, I was running, actually, you know what? That's right. There's another way to do Hex. Will you give me permission for something? Will you give me permission for something specific here? I'm taking permission. I'm taking permission. Here's your Hex Geo. Finally, you found a reason to actually run Albedo and Hex. For now, it will be different once we get Odette. I mean, all of these stellar on-fielders other than Sandrone are currently frauds, because they still need Sandrone as a dead slot to enable stellar for them. But with Odette and Cryo Traveler, I mean, especially Odette, but that's not really going to be a problem in the same kind of way. Okay, cool. And alright. Oh, no, Guy who literally forgot how Shionen works. Well, at that point... I would say we could just try Mono Geo with Durin. Mono Geo plus Durin, but at that point, that's not the spirit of things. Unless what you really want to see is just Noelle performing at a high level against Infinitesimal. Yeah, it's Fischl again. We're just gonna have to do dry Shionen E's solely to battery Noelle, which is going to be very silly. Yeah. Sorry, Albedo, you're going back to hell. It's what you deserve. But mainly it's... Shenhe and Kui Kongs maybe weren't that useful, but also it's just, what other C1s could I have really picked up there? I already have Putao C1 on a whim from years ago, and it just... I mean, Niwu, I guess. I mean, I'm picking up the Eyes C1 next week. I mean, nothing else is really a contender at all. But, okay, there we go. They call her No Particle Generation Noelle. And there we go. This is about where things want to go. Okay, cool. We still probably lack the juice. This is not pleasant. Okay. Well then. Oh, I know exactly how I need to handle this, which is even dumber. But have to use Night Soul Transmission. Use her Ease twice a rotation just to battery Noelle? Wait, is this why you told me to use Noelle? Because you figured something like this might happen? You might be the devil, actually. But only if you want. You're free to accept or reject that moniker. Free country. Well, actually, you're in a different country. I won't ask too many questions about what you think about Romania. Other than just making more vampire jokes. Okay. At least this is not one, so we have Night Soul Transmission. Why God? Why God indeed? Okay. And okay. Cool. There we are. Yeah, inconsistent shielding hurts. So this was all intended to just put me in the torture labyrinth. I respect that. Kind of. Okay. Oh, I broke right through. Alright. And there we are. Run with Shionen, and of course need to do a little bit more that way. Okay. What the heck? It takes 3 of those. You're kidding. What? What? I mean, actually, at this point... You know what? I'm claiming an emergency substitution. We can go full hex. We can just do full hex. Is this Shionen? I mean, this is basically Shionen, right? I'm not coping, right? And we've got someone holding her signature. Man. You know, it's revenge for all the vampire jokes. It's revenge for those stupidly good chronicled banner rules. It's revenge for getting all those weapons when I'm not even going to be able to level them for months. Because next fetch we got Odette's, and it... I think the Traveler's signature that they're adding might actually level up on its own. I mean, I won't really be able to use it all until we get a second Cis 9 expansion, because it's stuck at level 70 until then. But, maybe 80. What the hell kind of emoji is that? It's crying shushing, but... I mean, who... What? Whatever. Okay. This is a team that will work, and allow Noelle to not, like, die slightly less. I will not brook criticism. I will not brook dissent. This is where we are now. Okay, there we go. And that's Peak Patrol song. Okay, cool. And oh, but there is the issue. If we're not dealing damage to it, we're not getting albedos. Oh, that's right. It only triggers that way. Well, we tried. I guess we're going to do something really stupid. And also, he can actually use EM. I mean, use his burst. It's just not especially useful here. And you know what? You get to just normally on-field with your big poise damage. Okay. Until you get your burst back for the next rotation. Yay! And this is actually perfection. We are going to need to run this rotation this time. This kind of has to kill. Okay. And... we're not getting very fast up. Well, that's actually pretty good. Okay. We're gonna try. Durin's going to have some trouble getting that burst back. Oh, wow, we... Okay. There we go. I guess. Thanks. And please don't regenerate your shield. I can tolerate anything except you regenerating your shield. Die. Oh, holy ball, it worked. Yeah. Are you satisfied with that outcome? You'd better be, because it's dead now and I can't fight it again until the next daily reset. We have forced each other's hands. Okay. Ah. Yep, and Albedo, give it back to Shuanan. Respect women more. Okay. So, yeah. Gonna level Yai's signature now. I guess. What else is extant? There we go. Oh, and the flower glows a bit more when you're in Hexra anyway, even the main one too. Okay, well. That's right, to signify the buff's active. Alright, okay. You can make me fight something else, but in the meantime, I'm going to recite, declaim Yai's signature description to you. That was kind of an inconvenience. The inconvenience was me having to beg and bow and scrape and just hope that you would be fine with me swapping Albedo out for Shionen. I hope you're satisfied. I'm not. But that final team, I mean, with a bit more ERG on Noel, and Durin too, frankly, that's a fun team to run, really. Congredance, and obviously before they added Stellar Conduct this patch, this was not here. Skill damage and all elemental damage bonus when they possess 3 stacks. I mean, she still deals standard damage. Yeah. Even with the Stellar. Deityas. Where once there were dances before the throne, presumably Raidens, the sounds of the bells still linger. The white silhouette, and that would be Hakushin. A.k.a. the Kitsune Saigu. I think Hakushin is a Kitsune Saigu, right? I need to make sure I'm not saying something genuinely stupid. Okay, they're different. That's right. The Kitsune Saigu was Hakushin, and didn't know Yai was Hakushin, but I guess that makes sense. I mean, it's just Yai at home. NPC Yai. Yeah. Hama. Never returned yet, it remains an unceasing dream from which one cannot wake. Probably referencing Kazari. Well, they renamed her to Hanachiro Sato, which is just a different reading of the same kanji. Eventually from Sakura cleansing. Man, that was 5 years ago. That was a silly little thing back then, nowhere near as intelligent as our great matriarch Hakushin. Roping about clumsy as a whelp foraging through the snow, hoping to draw Her Excellency's attention. Funnily enough, it was exactly because of my foolhardy courage that Her Excellency had pity on me. That's how I came into her service, warming her hands and feet and all of her great honor. This is Yai talking then. Lady Saigu would later depart, never to return, and those seniors of mine would also be lost due to various other reasons. That was how someone as bumbling as I took up the role of Miko and grew into the person you know today. And notably, the Miko in Yai Miko it's sort of a visual pun. It's a homonym in Japanese for Miko as in priestess, but it's written differently and... Let's look at kanji. We haven't wasted enough time. Okay. What is the first kanji here mean? The second one just means woman. And that's funky. Because that's how Yai's, the Miko in Yai's is named. Yai Friko. Okay, and yeah, this one, which is just divine, then child. Oh. So it's not a homonym as much as the Miko and Yai Miko is kind of an archaic version of the Miko that we have now. God, let's be sensitive. I'm confused by the Japanese language. That is the nice way to say that. Lady Saga would later depart, never to return, and those seniors in mine would also be lost due to various other reasons. Stupid. That was how someone as bumbling Zan took up the role of Friko and grew into the person you know today. Thus, it was in this way that the unfortunate task of putting a smile on Her Excellency's face fell squarely on my shoulders. The night when I first performed the Kagura dance, I felt the weight of the past. The tinkling of the bells grew distant. Why are the bells peeing? I'm sorry. And the great silver kitsune, master and friend, disappeared into the winding river of dreams. The bells sounded again, the obstinate sandbar loosened and dissolved into the swirling current. The pure white gentle figure of the past had long drifted into dark memory. So the lone daughter of the great kitsune lineage, because Yai is the final remaining Hakushin, would take up the Kagura bells and dance for the vibrant now. Knew a young and obstinate Tengu warrior and used the pretext of training to bluff her into asceticism in the mountains. But sensing her unruly nature, I recommended her to this block-headed Kujo, though I once had a competition against an obstinate Oni and was defeated by dint of sheer perseverance. That's Sara, and this is presumably Ito, but yeah, this is the now. People we meet now instead of people who died in the Cataclysm. I did add a few little tricks to make our contest more interesting, and that was adding beans to the udon, so that Ito would have an allergic reaction and basically just die, because Oni are allergic to beans. Corresponded with a half Shion from a distant land, gifted her fresh and supple ocean plants, and that is a reference to something that isn't even lore text in game. That is a reference to a preview program where Yai and Ganyu spoke. Still, I felt keenly that I could not understand her almost foolish love. Is that not a form of bondage for the Shion? The moonlight sweeps across the Imperial Garden through branch and petal, alighting upon the empty courtyard. That scene still glows brightly in my shallow heart like countless glimmering jewels. In the short span of these few hundred years, I have walked the earth in many guises. Though I have not had the fortune to have deep relationships with ordinary people, I came to know human beauty deeply. And Her Excellency, who I might dare to call friend, should have more time yet to roam this world. So let us see this imperfect world together and enjoy its obsessions with love and hate, with meetings and partings. With Her Excellency engrossed in her dream reel of eternity. What if it was Strange Reel and it was Ace Combat? One day I'm gonna play Ace Combat 0 for the music and the homoeroticism and none of the other ones. To quell the resentment of the wicked Oni Kuro Ami. Yeah, the final boss track in Ace Combat 0, which a crazy guy I met in university who ended up going into the military. Actually going into the Navy, because he really liked submarines. He had submarine autism, which, I mean, it's not a bad kind. I mean, but that was just the case. I mean, I'm probably schizo. That's life. But he liked Ace Combat, that one specifically, and he was like, listen to 0. Don't look up the plot spoilers. And then I looked it up, and then the YouTube video with the music is just all plot spoilers. So there you go, okay. But the song, it's basically Spanish guitar. It's flamenco. And half of the comments on the official OST YouTube video for Eula's trailer theme, Dance of Afros, is just people making Ace Combat 0 jokes because the themes are marginally similar. Yeah. Someone need to look out for the common folk. To quell the resentment of the wicked Oni Kuro Ami, one showed but a hint of the ominous power I wield. And the great disturbance caused by Kosanta, the bald tanuki, would be made sort of with a little application of magic. The marauding pirate Rinzo terrored the archipelago. Are you calling Nazuchi Beach an archipelago? That's a bit much. Would also be betrayed over some small discordance in plans. As for that blank slate, that immortal eccentric Skara, I hope he will find his way and not become a threat to us all. The darkened remains of the Swordmaster's soul, the beast of catastrophe hiding in the sacred forest that were all wiped out. This is probably about... That might be about... Chio? Or... This would have to be... Swordmasters... Is that what... Are they referring to the Kanki by that? Well, whatever. Compared, no, well, it's things that got wiped out, so it isn't something we'd be able to see. Okay, it's nothing then, yeah. Compared to the dream of eternity her excellency pursues, such things were but fleeting interludes, and the wait for her to come around seemed to stretch out infinitely, but I knew that time was on our side. I mean, a euthymia without wind and moon with the lotuses and udambara that do not wither. I'm sorry, but the loneliness would get to me. I'd be bored to tears. Much rather snap off thunder sakura branches in a drunken haze and cavort with the impudent yokai. And no, these are not stories of the ancient past, but of a future full of hope. So, your excellency, typo that they never corrected. But I still had the pleasure of joining you to watch the first pale purple buds that emerge when the snow next melts. Yeah, exactly. It's not really all that significant. It's just she dances with it. Yai Lords of Opportunity. There you go. Okay. So let us... Spectre mats are going into the bells. I can fight one or two more things, and it glows a little now. Wow. I will say that in terms of the characters who use the Inazuma set, well, as in when they still made pure regional themed weapons instead of tailoring them to specific characters' appearances, Yai's at least looks pretty darn good. And Raiden's. Because they're Electro, purple looks good on them. You gotta feel a little for Ayaka and Yonya. Maybe they'll make weapon skins for that. But oh, as I was saying... Goodness. There was actually data mined right before Inazuma an appearance for... an Inazuma set Claymore, as in a Claymore that looks like this, engulfing lightning, Mist Splitter, and Thundering Pulse, which never came out. Frankly, there was a good chance that that was what Red Thorn originally looked like. Probably would have a different name at that point, too. And then they realized, I mean, they realized it was kind of stupid. And it... Who is... Oh, right, she's trading that with Escapie. Normally she has that one. She doesn't need energy recharge. I'm not bursting with her, but the next time I use Yai for real, she's gonna be on Disenchantment. What's still the cupcake holder? Oh, Kagura. Don't make me hungry. I'm gonna be Arcuid from Fate. And the worst part is, that's not even an inaccurate statement. She's as much from Fate as from Tsukihime at this point, which is perverse. But I'm gonna be a vampire who preys on vampires. I'm gonna drain all your blood from you that you drain from other people. Thank you for gathering it for me. Okay. Well, Let's fight Raskolnikov with Varisa. That's simple. Will that entertain you for 5 more minutes? Perhaps. Nicole Duran. Chevy Varsa. And no Yansan, which is good for me. Yeah, I guess we'll hit that 3 hour. Though again, I was expecting, kind of intending to call it early, but we were having so much fun. Yeah. Okay. We'll make this decision for you. Check something here. Hooey. Okay. The nice thing about doing light mode Durin is that you can also... oh, that's right. We didn't do an initial... That's right. Okay. Initial electro hit to ensure that we could do the overcharge ball, but that's whatever, really. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And slam, slam. Yeah, not bad. Justice. Gone. Probably could have 2-roaded it if we had actually, well, gotten the overcharge ball, but who's counting? Okay. Yeah. That's fun. Let's... Who else could we fight with this specific team? We could beat up Hiljetta with this team because it does trigger overloads. Yeah. Got a nice fast shield. No, we don't necessarily need to destroy the mechanisms the first time around. Alright. Cool. And, right, we do have that overcharged ball. Overcharged balla. Not bad, but her long night set is, it leaves a bit to be desired, frankly. That is something to think about long term, frankly. Okay. And there we go. We got a good amount of shred, which is important because she gets a pretty crazy amount of res when she's charging up her attacks. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just kind of brute force this, I guess. Cool. Well, I am running this rotation slightly too fast, actually. Okay, cool. And, yeah, you got 2 hits. That's honestly still a little bit worse than I would expect. That's whatever. Starting with less energy definitely hurt things because there were some of her mini bursts that I missed, but I mean that's fine. So here you go. Let's get energy to full, and I like fighting Sigurd, especially without Lunar to brute force it. We'll just make you happy. Reward your hard work, sacrifice, pain, Romanianness. Even if you're asleep right now. And just, yeah. Fight a local legend or 2. Yeah. Alright, I can maybe try this team on the Mandragora. Having Electro and Pyro and some AoE does mean I can maybe brute force this 4-bloom. That's gonna be a nice way to end things. Yeah. Okay. And... yeah. Hello there, go like so, and there we go. Yep. And we can iframe right through that. Amazing. This is why you use Varus. Okay. Generous iframes, and we can run this like so. Except we missed because we're dash around like a lunatic. Okay. All right. And oh, fair. For a second, I thought you said Fortnite. Good thing you didn't. Okay, and you got that back, actually. Fontaine Haters Alliance. I'm not part of it. I'm just mentioning it conceptually. And you also do a nice amount of damage to the air, so that's nice. You just hit with that now, and yeah, it's not bad, but... man, you're kind of something, I guess. Okay, and... alright. Didn't really heal, but... okay. That's fine. Yeah. Let's try that on Mandragora and see if it works at all. Try it once. Oh. But it... Man, Varus and energy. That's tough.
Yep.
It's definitely going to have to be burst with Chevy and then have her hopefully Fab and Battery Varisa. It's going to have to be like that. Okay. Yep, there we go. And up. Cool. Shoot. You can deal a good amount of just damage. Yeah, okay, cool. And Durin. There we go. Alright. We have some crowd control with that actually, so that's cool. Alright, come on. You're getting knocked around way too much actually. This is probably not going to work. Okay, well, it was fun to conceptualize this. We got enough shred that it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's fine. And it... Let's stay out of the way of that. Okay. The damage ain't half bad. It... Just 5 billion sources of shred. There we go. And it drops nothing! Okay. So... Thank you for bearing with me all this time. Keeping the faith. Tormenting me. Being tormented in return. Life's all about reciprocity. So I think... No, not this one. They're not built yet. I still need to actually level the tenacity set. I'm keeping on Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi only deals direct stellar conduct damage on her burst. And she is not going to be reliably triggering it herself in any team, really, so it... The stellar support set is not going to work well on her. You just gotta run tenacity. So that's good for now. Right! The Sandy avatar. That's cool. So I will be seeing you some other time. Hopefully, probably. So yeah, sayonara to you. Adios.